Let's Talk Texan. Welcome, Roderick McDaniel, to Let's Talk Texan, dude. I'm so happy to be talking Texan with you today, man.
I'm hyped about this, man. I have thoughts of being from Texas that we never get to talk about. So, okay, let's do this.
Awesome, man. So, first and foremost, tell us a little bit about for the unindoctrinated. Tell us about yourself.
I am a nobody that Jordan found on the road. Nobody knows me. Nobody has ever heard of me. And even after this podcast, you're going to regret that you've met me. So that's who I am in Austin. No, I do stand-up comedy here in Austin, and I've been doing it. This is year 23.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out to me the other day, and I kind of got depressed. It's like, I've been doing this for that's a long time to not use my degree.
What was your degree in?
I was an education major, and I was going to be language arts, social studies, grades 4 through 8. And then I got to the point when I knew I was never going to go teach in a classroom, and I just said, let's flip that to general studies and just get out of here with this bachelor's degree.
Right.
Later. Yeah, I was an educator. And then what happened was I got a job at GameStop, and I was making more than I was going to make. There's a traveling manager that I was going to make as a teacher my first year.
Yeah,
and I was like, right. Well, I'd rather give them the stuff that makes them not want to do their homework.
I was raised by a teacher, so I know exactly what
I went straight from I'm going to give you video games that make you not do your homework instead of give you the homework. And yeah, man. Then I went from that to I stayed with GameStop for a while, and then I ended up at EA.
Interesting.
So now I'm at the video game company that's making the games that make you not do your homework.
That's awesome.
Yeah, still never used my degree. Still never used it. And then I left there to go be comedian full time in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, just like, hey man, forget it. I left right before the pandemic happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Good
left
timing.
January 28th, and I had a whole tour booked, and I was like, this comedy thing's so easy. How do people not go out on the road? And then all of a sudden, March 12th, I watched my whole tour disappear over 3 hours of phone calls.
Oh my goodness.
It was when they announced, we are probably going to cancel South by Southwest that year. And when the day, March 12th, when they were announcing it, I watched it on the news that morning. I had breakfast with my family. I was like, oh no, this COVID thing's kind of serious, isn't it? I was like, maybe if they're going to cancel South by Southwest, it's probably. Then that first phone call came through about 11:30 or 12, and then for 3 hours. I remember just 3 hours of my life. I sat at my computer and I just put on anime and I dissociated it for 3 hours, just like
wow.
And I just pick up the phone. Yeah, this is Roderick. We're gonna push it back by 2 weeks just to wait out, flatten the curve. And I was like, I hated that sentence, flatten the curve, because I heard it. Every call that came through was 2 weeks, 2 weeks,
another.
And then another. Then it kept becoming. After a couple hours, after the first hour of flatten the curve, it became, we're just going to cancel. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll reschedule. Let's come back to it in about 2 weeks, maybe a month. And that turned into, it's 2021. Dude. It was a weird year, dude. It was weird. But yeah, I went through that.
That's got to be crazy, man.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Were you already in the Austin area?
I'd been here since 2014.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was here before all the craziness, before everybody else showed up. I like to tell people I kicked it off for Joe Rogan. He's here because I got here in 2014 and I did the 7 years worth of scouting work for him.
Oh, yeah.
And
you were trailblazing for Bald Guys in Comedy.
Yeah. Bald Guys in Comedy with controversial opinions. Show up, Joe. I got you. This is our home.
Joe.
I got you. This is our home now. He shows up 7 years later. Everybody's like, he's a pioneer. I was like, I was here for 7 years scouting for him. Okay? Shut up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, man. It was a good time, though, man. I enjoyed Austin, though. When I first got here, it was just the right size for me, for a metropolitan city. It was perfect. Like, it's not even the same Austin anymore.
Oh, yeah. I try to tell people all the time. I remember just visiting back in maybe like 2010. And 2011, and like the Frost Building was still like the biggest thing in downtown, and
yes,
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird. When I first came out here 2 years ago, I hadn't been in like 7 or 8 years, and I came back and I was like, oh shit,
Oh
it's a
yeah, no.
totally like when did this happen?
I did. I used to drive for Uber, and I
Oh
remember
yeah.
one time there were these two guys in the car, and it was the coolest conversation. He took a picture of one of those giant cranes that are downtown
Hmm.
building the high rises, and he sent it to his buddy, and he said, "Watch this." He said, "I'm gonna send him a picture. That's his family's crane. He's gonna know what city we're in and what number that crane is." And he's
That's
talking to his
crazy.
buddy, and I laughed, and he said, "No, bro, listen, watch. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna put him on speaker. He's gonna call us." So he sends the picture, and the call comes through, and he puts him on speaker, and he goes, "What are you dudes doing in Austin?" And he goes, "How do you know?" He said, "Which building is that?" He said, "Oh, it's this project, and that is crane number blah blah blah." And I was like, "That is insane." And so he just leaves him on speaker. "Yeah, we're here for a wedding. It's me and he's naming off everything, and it's cool." But I'm just listening to this conversation take
Mhm.
place, and then all of a sudden the guy goes, "Yeah, they're going to put 16 more high rises up in that skyline in over the next couple of years."
Golly.
And I was like, I shouldn't say anything. And I'm like, "Where the hell are they going to put them?" And everybody broke laughing. And
They're
I
gonna
was
have
like,
to tear down all the good stuff.
"Yeah." And so he was like, "Yeah." He said, "That's what I thought because I came there and I scouted it." And I was like, "Where are they going to put these?" And I was like, "Yeah, but he was right. They're
Put them
there.
up.
They put them up."
I try to tell people all the time. The Austin skyline, I feel like, just looks like Metropolitan City B in a movie. Does that make sense?
Bro, look,
It.
Vancouver is where they shoot all the Hallmark movies. When they need a
Yes.
big city, you could shoot that in downtown Austin right now. It's
Yeah.
just so like big city skyline, and you don't
Yeah.
see anything that makes it like there's no Empire State Building. There's no, it's just,
It's just nondescript skyscraper.
hi, here's a big city with skyscrapers.
Yes,
Yeah, and
dude.
so they could shoot a Hallmark. I'm just saying, I'm trying to
Hey,
be in your movie.
Hallmark.
I know a look. I'm scouting.
Let me think of the plot to your Hallmark movie, Roderick.
Oh, I already have one.
Oh yeah.
I want to do a Hallmark Christmas movie so bad. And what it is
That's the best one,
I
dude.
want to do one. So my idea is that I'm this little old black guy that runs a Hallmark Christmas ornament store.
There's nothing little about you, Roderick.
Well, okay,
Sorry.
that's in my script. Shut up.
That's my script.
So I run this little store, and it's like my little Hallmark Christmas ornament store. And this rich ass white girl comes home from the big city, like every movie, and then
Yeah.
she's home to save her parents' Christmas tree farm in Buda, which is a weird place to have a Christmas tree farm. And then what happens is she's like, "I've given up on love," and I say, "If you believe in the power of Christmas, there's no telling what can happen." And I give her this ornament, which is a bell, which says like Christmas, whatever year we shoot the film in, and she just goes, "What?" And then I disappear. So the whole movie, she's thinking, "Is that Santa Claus? Like Santa Cupid? What's happening?" And I keep showing up at weird moments, so you don't know if I'm an angel or the spirit of Christmas. And I just keep trying to push her toward her high school love, and that's also back in town. And then I just keep going, "Are you sure you're giving up on love?" She said, "Where did you come from?"
You should
Do
give
you?
it up on
And then
love.
I'm running like a hot chocolate stand, but it's
Uh-huh.
like 90 degrees in December, and nobody's
That's what I'm saying, dude.
hot chocolate. It's the weirdest Hallmark movie
I
ever.
love. Here's in my mind, I want that Hallmark movie to end where it does snow on Christmas, but everybody's like, "Wasn't it 80 degrees yesterday?"
You got a writing credit on the script for that line. I tell you, man, I've been pushing to do this movie. And then at the end of the movie, when she kisses the guy, and he says, "You're my gift," and she's like, "Hi,"
You're
they
my
kiss,
gift.
and I just go, "Looks like the spirit of Christmas got another one." And I touch my nose, and I disappear. Y'all go, "Was that Santa Claus?" Greatest Christmas movie ever, dude. I got Hallmark, holler at me. Look how well it worked out for Joe. I got you.
Yes, dude.
Holler at your boy. I'm working out here.
That's funny, dude.
I have plans, dude. I have wild plans, but that's one of my favorites.
Hell yeah, dude. I believe in it. I believe in your Hallmark career.
Thank you.
So you're from Texas, right?
I'm Texas born.
Texas born.
Texas born, not Texas raised. Texas born.
Okay.
I say not raised, but we were here till I was 5 in Texas, in East
Uh-huh.
Texas, down there by Lufkin and Nacogdoches, the Piney Woods.
Nice.
Dude,
Beautiful part of Texas over there.
it is. That's great country. If you've never been to it, you gotta. That's good driving during the fall, just to see all the
Mm,
trees turn colors and stuff.
yeah.
And then we moved to New Orleans when I was 5, and then we stayed in Louisiana until I turned 18. Like
Hmm.
we lived all around Louisiana. I went up north and graduated from Ouachita Parish High in Monroe.
Yeah.
And then, but we would come back every summer, every Christmas. I was always back in Texas.
Mm.
Then I went to the military. Then I traveled, and I was like in Virginia Beach for a while, San Diego for several years, stuck in Dubai and Bahrain for several years.
Wow.
So then when I got out in 95 and I was back in California, I was like, I'm not staying in this state. I'm out the military. This is not for me. And I had
Hmm.
babies on the way.
Yeah.
And I remember I was with my wife and we were watching the news, and there was some guy at UCLA and he was suing the Los Angeles Independent School District or something
Mm.
because he was a freshman at UCLA and he could only read at a 5th grade level. But they kept passing him through the system because
I
he was a
see.
big dude and he was having a successful career at UCLA,
Hmm.
but he could only read at a 5th grade level in college
Right. So he was actually being deprived of his
education.
education. Yeah.
And I say, one thing you can say about Texas back in the days, like they were hard about that. You got to have the grades to play. And
Hmm.
they in schools would get in trouble for that back in the day. If you're not just gonna pass him. He's got to be able to do it.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I was like, I want my kids to grow up in Texas. I just think growing up in the South would be better for them.
Mm.
And so we moved to Amarillo, Texas, because my parents were living there. My dad was working for Social Security at the time, and he
Hmm.
was I think he was the district manager up there for the Panhandle at that time. And so yeah,
Hmm.
we moved there and raised my kids there. Got
And
divorced.
Amarillo.
Yeah, I got divorced in Amarillo. I had 4 kids, got divorced, met my next wife, got 3 more kids,
Golly.
all in Amarillo.
You grew up in you grew up in like the most like lush green part of the South, like the piney woods, and then like all around Louisiana, and then you went to Dubai, and you were like,
Yeah, saw that
you
desert.
know what? I like that dry climate. I'm gonna move
I
to
like these
Amarillo.
sandstorms. I'm going to what's up in Amarillo? More sandstorms? I feel like I'm back on the front.
That's so funny. I remember as a kid, we would, because I had an aunt and uncle that lived in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And so we would drive through Amarillo all the time. A lot of times it'd be the stopover. Because
Mm-hmm.
almost without a doubt, every Christmas there'd be a big fucking ice storm.
Every year, and you're going to get stuck on I-40.
Yes, dude.
You're stuck on I-40.
So I'm stuck in the Motel 8, sharing a bed with my brother and my cousin. my grandma snoring in the other bed.
Yeah.
And so my whole perception of Amarillo was just driving in, smelling the cow shit.
Which you can still smells like money. That's what their favorite line. Smell that money? Well, it's dirty. The money is dirty in
You're
this town.
right.
If that's your money.
I'd rather have blood money than this.
Yeah. Can we trade in blood diamonds? Those seems like I could wash the blood off and not smell cow poop.
That's so funny.
Right. But yeah, no, it smells like money was the number one line, and there's so many cattle farm up there. It's cattle land. It is it's crazy. Crazy place to live. But I raised all my kids there.
Yeah.
I started my comedy career there.
Yeah, interesting. So that's where you started doing stand up,
Yeah.
Interesting.
2002. Yeah, I want to say we were 2002 and we were I wasn't even I'm in between wives when I started.
Mm.
And so like I'm depressed.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Like every good comedian story starts, I was depressed
I was depressed and between women.
Yeah. I wasn't really with one woman, I was with multiple women at that time. Just decided I'm just gonna live immorally. How much more immorally can I live? Open mic comedian. Okay, there we go. And so I did that. And then, it just kind of fell in love with it. I was like, oh, this is funny. I feel better after every performance because instead of going to therapy, I just tell you my unhinged thoughts.
Interesting.
And so that's what I did, man. I just started doing comedy and they liked me and they kept saying, come back next week. And I was like, okay. is that how this works? And they were like,
Mm.
hey, have a new 5 minutes, come back next week. The owner of the club, back in the day, the Moran
Oh,
brothers
so you
owned it.
were like getting club work right off the bat.
Yeah, it was the Amarillo Comedy Club was where I was started my open mic career.
Yeah.
And so I went there to do the open mic. It was the only comedy club in town.
Yeah.
And the owner liked me, and they had a good level of headliners coming through all the time because it's right along I-40
Yes.
and in between Dallas and Albuquerque and Oklahoma City. Now it was
people come through.
you go through everywhere when you're on tour. So I was there, and the owner saw me. And the first night I went up, I was like, they're telling me, yeah, you're going to do 5 minutes. The light's going to come from back here. So look in that direction. At 3 minutes, you're going to get a light. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm doing my set, and the light's never going up. And I'm like, keep looking in that way. And I'm like, I'm looking in the right place, right? It just feels like this is the longest 5 minutes of my life. And I do my whole set, and I go off and I go, how long did I do? And he said, the owner wants to see you. And I was like, am I in trouble? He said, no. I said, did the light ever come on? He went, no. I said, nobody lit me? He went, no, just go see the owner. And I was like, oh, this sucks. I'm about to get banned from the club on my first open mic because I ran the light that never came on.
Yeah.
So I go in the office, and he goes, how long you been doing comedy? I went, yeah, I just started tonight. That was my first set.
Wow.
And he said, you were good. You ever done any kind of work? Stage work? No. This is it. And he was like, okay, I want you to come back next week. And what he did, he liked the set, and he went over going to set and told him, don't light him. I want to see how much time he has. So I got lucky. The owner saw me on the first night and liked the joke I was doing. And he just wanted to, let's let him run. Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got started, was right place, right time. Owner sees me, likes me. Next thing I know, he's making me run the light on my first show. And I was like, that's a bad habit to start in a comedian. It's a very bad habit. I'm still doing it 23 years later. But yeah, no, I did that show, and it was a lot of freaking fun, man. And then I would always meet headliners that, like, I met Carolyn Picard at the Amarillo Comedy Club, and she's still touring. She just did a theater show in New Braunfels, like, earlier this year. So I was like, see, that kind of blows my mind when I see people like that. And I was like, you were doing it when I started, and you were a headliner then, and you're still crushing shows, selling out theaters now. So it makes me feel good about my career. Like, I might have some sustainability at this point.
Yeah.
If I made it to 23, I might could do another 20. Who knows? I doubt it, but we'll see.
That's so real, dude, because you know, everybody thinks about like that point of getting your break or whatever, you know, like getting the spots, getting the big show or whatever, you know. But it's like I don't think nearly enough people think about what am I going to do after that to keep being good, keep being relevant, keep being, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's we before we started the podcast, we had talked about a certain other podcast that streams live and has people do a minute of comedy on there.
Yeah.
And and you know, it's one of those things that people will get a big break from that. You know what I mean? They'll get a big opportunity, but so many people can't take advantage of it. They can't ride their wave because they never planned for anything past that.
No, what? Okay, you and I have been at a thing where we were talking to young comics that you hosted, where you're helping guys write, and everybody was hanging out. And I said that there. It's like a lot of guys are writing for their 1 minute of fame and have no sustainability after that. You don't have a set. You don't have an hour. You can't do 15 minutes of, like, here's a bit. You don't even have a bit. Yeah. A 5 minute bit where you're 5 minutes on this one topic. You don't even have that. So you get your big break on there, and then clubs are coming after you, and you didn't write for longevity. You wrote for a minute of fame.
Yes.
And because you only wrote for a minute of fame, now you're doing these and friends shows. Okay, that's cool. But are you taking those minutes and stretching them out and really picking the meat off the bone and building a set and finding your voice? Or are you just, I got a bunch of one-liners that I'm going to do for an hour? Some people are really good at that.
Yeah.
but not all of you.
I would argue that you have to be a really fucking smart, good writer to be that guy that can just go up there and do one-liners for an hour, dude. To be an Anthony Jeselnik or to be like
A Stephen Wright. Let's just go back to a classic. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, for sure, dude.
Let's a vet. Stephen Wright. Be that guy. And even he fell off. Just saying. Okay.
That's real, dude. And I tell people all the time, I consider myself one of the worst writers, dude. I think I'm a terrible writer. I love doing comedy and I love performing and I love to tell stories. And I'm very fortunate that I grew up in a culture that told stories funny. That having a good funny story was like a good thing to have. You know what I mean?
A funny storyteller can still pack a room, though.
That's
a funny storyteller you can take that to. There are storytelling shows,
yeah,
that aren't necessarily stand up, but you can get booked on those in addition to your stand up comedy career, and that gives you some longevity. That builds you another fan base that you can walk into.
Yeah,
and so people, people don't maximize themselves as writers.
That's real, dude. But even so, I mean, I feel like now I have learned how to write. Like I at least understand why this story is funny because it has a beginning and a middle and an end. Your setup, your punchline, you know what I mean? Your setup, your premise, whatever. And so I think I can now kind of look at stuff and do the math a little bit more than I used to. But I think there are so many people. There's shout out to my buddy Heath, dude. He is one of the best, most prolific. He can just write those one-liners. I love having him at my tag writing workshop.
I met him here, yes.
Yes, dude, because he can just like pop, 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 hit you with 20 things, and all of them are funny. And like I'm like, thank God I just have a goofy way of looking at things, because if I if I had to sit down and do that, I'd be screwed.
Tommy Johnigan, I think, is probably, like, comedians know Tommy a lot of times. But if I talk to comedy fans, you got to be a hardcore comedy fan to know who Tommy Johnigan was. And he had 3 of the greatest albums, but what he would do is each joke would have at least 5 or 7 tags on it. So you get a pop, and then there'd be 7 more tags that kept that laugh going because they were all better than the punchline.
Yeah, that's so good.
And so when you got a joke writer like that, man, he changed the way I told stories. I was like, dude, those pops are amazing. And sometimes, like, I would tell a joke and there'd be the punchline, and then I'm going to the next story. But when I was performing it live, I tagged that joke like crazy because something would come to me in the moment. And instead of keeping all those tags, I'd just go, like, oh, that was good. That was a one-off. No, man. And I was like, Cody Myers is the reason I got better. I'm going to say that right here. I have no problem saying that. I'm influenced by the people I work with. Cody Myers is the reason I'm a better comic.
Interesting.
The show you get from me today is 100 times better than it used to be 2 years ago because I tour with that guy. And what he'll do is every time I'm up, he's taking notes. And then he sends me his notes in a text. And it's like, this tag, this word, the way you told that joke should be the definitive version. This is this. I like this. Oh my God, that was new. That's a diabolical line. I don't believe how you're surviving tonight telling that joke. Like, he would go through and write it, and then I'd get the tags and read them, the notes after each set. And I go, Then I go back to the hotel room and rewrite the joke. Put that tag in. I'd rewrite my whole old joke with that new tag, and I'd be like, oh, that
do
does
you like
look
to
good.
sit down on a piece of paper and write out your jokes?
I do. I'm weird. So there's notes in here in my phone. But sometimes I'll go into the bathroom and sit in a stall. I'm not even using the restroom. I just want to be away from people not talking to me and sitting in a stall writing jokes. And then then other times I will get a notebook. I travel with a notebook in my bag and several pens, and I'll jot notes down.
Interesting.
And then when I go home, I sit at a computer and I'm like, I'm in front of a computer anyway.
Yeah.
So I just open up Google Doc, and then I'd have like something over here that I'm working on and something on this screen that I'm working on. And then I just hit the Google Docs thing and I jot down the note. So I have volumes of jokes in Google Docs that are just sitting in there. And I was like, I wonder if I put all of that into one document,
how big it would be.
It would be ridiculous. And then there's sometimes I'd be at work.
Yeah.
And I'd put stuff in Google Docs or I'd put it in a Word document. and then I'd email myself the joke. Like I'm sending that to my home email from work. So there are these emails from EA that go to Roderick at Live Right, you know, in my Yahoo email. I'm not about to say that right, but I send it to that email, and it'd just be all these emails of jokes, and then I'd be like, I need to make a folder for all these emails of jokes.
Yeah, dude.
And I need to pull them out one day and put them somewhere. Like I had jokes that were written one time, and I forget what we were doing because he's like, "You ever had jokes you written?" I was like, "I have so many jokes I've written I've never performed." And he said, "Really?" And I forget what happened. I think we were in Lake Charles, and I pulled. I guess he got me to pull them out, and I just did 10 or 15 different things I wrote, and all 10 or 15, he was like, "Those are just sitting in that notebook and you never tried them on stage." I was like, "Oh yeah, I always forget that part. I write, but I never go try them on stage." And he was like, "Dude, you got to go do those tonight. Just
That's awesome.
take them for a walk, just see what happens." And so I said, "Yeah." So we went to the show, and
How good to be so prolific at writing, dude. That's so nice, dude.
But it was just sitting in there. I'm not even thinking of these jokes. I just had to get it out of my head so I don't go crazy.
Right.
I'm like, I got to write this down. And then I would walk away from the joke and never go look back. And so one night in Lake Charles, I did 35 minutes of just my notebook. And I actually went up to the audience and said, "Hey, I'm going to do something weird. You're going to build my next hour. Let's go." And so if you like it, the way you laugh determines if I keep it. And that's what I did for 35 minutes. I just did my notebook. I just read stuff out of it and would riff on it at that point. And then I'd say, go to the next one. Okay, we'll keep that one out. I'll make a check note in it. And then I'd go to the next one. Did riff on it. Check. Okay. I did one bomb and I'd be like, "Fuck you guys. I like that." I will circle that, but I want to come back to it. It needs more work.
Funny.
And yeah, 35 and Cody, that's insane. I said, "Yeah, I never would have done it had you not." Like, you should take them for a walk and test them out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he changed the way I did comedy, man, and that was really one of the things where it was like, I started having fun again. Most important thing to do. You're a comedian. I can tell when you're not having fun. I can tell when you're going through the motions. Also, being in Austin, I can tell when somebody's been doing the same set since 2014.
Yeah.
I've had that. Like, I have friends that I love, and we'll be, "Oh, we're all doing 5 or 10s," and they'll be like, "Yeah, 10 minutes set." And then I'll hear a joke, and I go, "He was doing that joke before the pandemic. He's doing the same 10 from 9 years ago. Did he put anything new in that?" And now I'm starting to think about our shows together.
Interesting.
And so then you kind of go, "Oh, you're on autopilot. You know that 10 solid. You know it's going to work. You're not having fun. You're not riffing. You're not throwing anything new. You're not challenging yourself. Here's my 10. Give me my check. Bye."
Man, that's real, dude. I remember even when I first started the Hyenas clubs, there were a couple of old head comics that I'd come in and be like, "Man, that guy fucking killed," and then somebody would be like, "Yeah, dude, he's been doing that set for the last 30 years. It better kill."
Yeah. You know, I want to look, man. I go out on the road too much, and I've done a couple of recordings, so I'm at the point now where it's like I can't. I have some jokes that are old as shit, and I know when to retire them and bring them out. There's shows. There's some that one of my favorite closers I'll do is about the fart during sex, and that's from my first album from 2010. I was working on that joke in 2005.
Yes.
That joke comes about in 2005. So it's that joke is old enough to go to an R-rated movie. Okay. old enough to vote. Okay. But I was like, when it finally got to the part was when it hit my album in 2010, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my joke, man. You know that's my joke. I've been doing this joke for 20 years, but 15 it's been on an album from, so and then it kind of became a thing where I was doing this joke and I kind of autopilot for a while. Like, why do I need to my old stuff is still a hit. Nobody in Austin knows my old stuff. I can coast, and then all of a sudden I got tired of doing my old. I was like, I really want to do something different. I hate this. I'm starting to hate comedy. I was like, this is boring. And then when I started like really writing new stuff and challenging myself. The best thing that happened to me was the pandemic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you have to say about this, but I tell people a lot. One of my biggest regrets is that I did not take advantage of that time during the pandemic to further my comedy career. And the people, because I was scared, dude. I was one of those people. I was scared. I locked myself up at home and everything, dude. And everybody that I saw that was brave enough to be out there and be working and be doing shit and keep making their stuff happen, I've seen all of them have a lot of big success from that.
Yeah, I was one of those idiots.
No, dude.
I
Sorry,
was
go
one of
ahead.
those idiots, dude.
Yeah.
Because my thing was, here's what got me. I was like, everything had just fallen through. Okay, I'm locked up in the house. I saved up so much money, so I think I got about 6 months worth of all my bills expenses saved up. I'm like, plus I got stock options that I was like, if it gets bad, I'll sell a little bit of that, and I'm still gonna coast. Because your boy was making bank. Okay, so I had so much money saved up that I literally was like, I don't even work anymore. I'm basically semi-retired at that point. And then I was just sitting there going, okay, what do I do? The tour's gone. And I was just like, I started taking every gig. I did shows at drive-in theaters. I played on the back of an 18-wheeler flatbed one time for a show at a drive-in theater.
Nice.
I did an IMAX theater where everybody was
All spread
distance
out.
6 feet, from each other. I was doing everything. Shannon Mugridge and I went to Florida and we lost our ass. We lost so much money on this run.
Shout out to Shannon Mugridge. He's a great guy and a great booker.
Yeah, we played. It was a crazy run. But at one point, we were in New Orleans. We're coming back from Florida, and we're in New Orleans, and they were showing the top 3 cities for COVID in America, and we had played all 3 of them. Like in the top 5, we had played 3 of the top 5. And we were like...
Yeah, of course, that's where you were able to play.
And we were like... And so I sent that information to my sister, and she said, is this the Black Man Don't Want to Live No More tour? What are you doing? I said, well, there's a white guy here too. I guess he don't want to live. Right. But yeah, no, we were just out there taking gambles, man. Just like, yeah, we're only at 35% capacity. Okay. Hey, we're only at 40% capacity. I don't care. Are you going to pay me? Not a lot. Yeah. Okay. I'm on the way. I took gambles. Gambles I would not do anymore. Okay.
Right. Did you ever do any runs with that guy?
I did. I worked for yeah. Yeah.
I almost lost my arm because of some of that guy's shows. Oh, he booked us in this shitty ass hotel, which literally they had like a murder scene. I look because they had police tape across like 2 rooms, dude, on the first floor and outside, and I'm like, oh, there was a murder here. Somebody shot bullets. They went through the wall into that room, so they had to tape that one off too.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and I got bit by a fucking brown recluse, dude, 3 times on my arm.
Jesus.
Yeah, trying to go do shows in fucking Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I've been there.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Y'all were actually really great to me. Thank you.
Yeah, all of that, dude. Nebraska, North and South Dakota were dope. All of Minnesota, Wisconsin. I love all that area.
We did a county fair in Alliance, Nebraska, and that was one of the best shows.
Alliance.
Can't miss it, dude.
I've been to, that was a dope show.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows, man.
Did you do the bar? Did you do the barbecue spot?
I did the bar.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, I did the bar. So it was a brewery, and
what they call it? The G Spot, dude. The G Spot is the name of that bar in Alliance, Nebraska. Shout out to the G Spot.
It's wild.
It's cool because it's called the Gathering Spot, but everybody calls it the G Spot.
The G Spot, yeah. Like the what? Okay. What kind of show are we doing?
Sorry, I just remember that so distinctly.
No, dude, that was a dope show. I've had some fun out on the road, dude, doing those weird ass towns. But yeah, you take those gambles to try to. I'm gonna tell you the thing that this is what got me. My brother was the one that hyped me up about those gamble stuff. He said, certain things my brother has said to me in my life that have influenced my career, that have become things I teach young comics.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was say yes to the adventure. He always says that. Just say yes to the adventure. You never done it? Just say yes.
Yeah.
Think it's new? You should try it. Say yes. That's his whole motto for my comedy career. Other thing he would teach me was the 3 Ps. 3 Ps changed my life, and that's people, project, and pay. You only need 2 of them to line up.
You told me this when I first quit my job to do comedy, dude.
The 3 Ps. I teach it to every comic, man. You got to figure out, is it a dope project? Are there dope people? Is it dope pay? If I get 2 of the 3, I'm in. If I get all 3, I can't say no. If I only have 1, do I have anything else better going on? Because I can say no to all 1. It's like, oh, I like working with that person, but the pay sucks and the show sucks. I don't want to do that. So I started.
Is this your older or younger brother?
Younger.
Interesting.
Way more successful. Younger brother. Way more successful. Just probably
shout out to all younger siblings.
Yeah, he's probably a secret millionaire. He is Sheldon. He is so Sheldon sometimes. But he is way more successful. But he taught me the 3 Ps, say yes to the adventure. And one of the things that got me was he changed how I looked at comedy, because he said everybody needs to sit down and figure out what their definition of success is. And he said, and I don't think you've done that. And I said, what do you mean? He said, what is success for you? And I thought, oh, I guess I really don't know what my success is. Like, when is it as a comedian for you? When do you know, oh, I'm successful? Because it's different for every comedian. Some of us, it's like, oh, I only do stand up and it pays all my bills. Okay, that's not hard to do. You can do that and be a no-name. I'm proving it. I'm proving it. I'm a stand-up comic all day long. That's my number one source of income, and it pays everything for me now. But I don't think in today's term I'm a success, because nobody knows who I am. I don't have a social media following I don't even have 15,000. I'm not even a 5-digit, success.
I'm not even a 5-digit success.
I need 5 digits to be successful. I only have 4, and I'm fighting to hold on to that 4 because I keep saying crazy stuff.
Tell me about it, Roderick.
Yeah, found out I had so many MAGA fans that were super sensitive. I should have realized it. I've played clubs where it was like a giant. I literally played a club like from this corner to the edge of your door, and the Trump 2020 flag was my backdrop on the stage.
Yeah.
And I should have known. I got MAGA fans when I play in this room.
Yes.
MAGA loves me, okay, because I say controversial stuff. And they used to take a joke. Now you're super sensitive and I hate you. I don't know what happened. They used to go to shows like this country's weird. I would go to a show and I could say something controversial and it'd get a laugh, and everybody that was laughing was conservative red hat. And then there'd be a blue-haired liberal girl that was mad at me. And now blue-haired liberal girl is my biggest fan, and the MAGA dudes are mad at me. And I'm like,
I think that's such an interesting point that you bring up, dude. Because I first of all believe, look, I do comedy in a cowboy hat and boots, dude. You know what I mean?
yes.
People have a certain expectation and a connotation of me when I walk onto the stage, which I actually really love to disprove with my comedy.
Yes.
That's kind of part of my whole thing is I want to tell people like, yes, I'm Texan, dude, but this is also Texan, dog. Whatever
There's
you think
a whole
I
other
am.
part of Texas that y'all.
Exactly, dude.
That's what kills me about LA comics. They come here and say, I thought this was Texas. No, your stupid racist joke sucked.
Yes, dude. I had somebody recently. I was trying to write a joke about male friendships and how all 30-year-old dudes that are friends devolve into 13-year-olds when they hang out.
Yes.
And I was trying to make a joke about like, yeah, bro, we're gonna like get together and like, yeah, we're gonna hang out, play some COD, bro. We're gonna hop on the Xbox, dude. dude, we're gonna stay up so late, dude.
Yes.
Dude, I got some beers. Don't worry, we won't tell our wives.
Yeah.
Like, and
if you show up with pizza rolls, you're
yes, dude, Totino pizza rolls are gonna smack.
bro. What is going on here right now? Yeah.
Yes, and I was saying like, and I was starting it off with the thing about grilling, about how guys have that's like an easy in for dudes. It's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna smoke a brisket this weekend, and it's like, oh yeah, you smoke with that? Yeah, give you a little help. Look at the brisket. It's gonna be 14 hours. You're gonna stay up all night with me though, you know, and like how it turns into a sleepover.
Yeah,
and
your boys are hanging out. People
yes,
are dropping
dude.
by. Let me call my lady and see if I can stay over.
Right. All of a sudden, now we're cooking steaks next to the smoker, you know.
Yeah.
and so that's where the direction I was trying to go with it, because I used to try to be edgy with my comedy. I thought that I was edgy.
We all try it once, okay.
But I'll tell you what, moving out to Austin, I realized I am 40 feet away from the fucking edge out here, dude. Like,
so far away, man.
And so I just decided I cleaned up my act, and it honestly worked out really good for me. But anyway, so I wanted to go in a more wholesome direction with this joke, right? And my buddy goes, "You should make it about how they're gay."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't think that's as funny, and also not really what I want to do with this joke. And he's like, "Why are you scared of saying that they're gay? Like, it's funny, dude." And I'm like, maybe, but that. And he's like, "What do you worry? We're in Austin, dude. You can say whatever you want." And I'm like, well, I actually don't just work in Austin, dude. I have to write this joke for fucking Alliance, Nebraska. I have to write this joke for, you know what I mean, Albuquerque, New Mexico, where it's an all blue audience. You know, I gotta.
Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all about yourselves, because I've played clubs where club owners hate Austin comics, and they've said that they're like, most Austin comics suck, and they will tell us they've named names. People who are big in Austin are hated on the road, and I'll be like, "Hey, that's my boy, bro." Like, that dude's in my
not so bad when you get to know him.
He's a good dude. Don't talk about him like that. He comes over for Thanksgiving. Okay, but yeah, they'll hate him, and they'll be like, "Yeah, man, you guys just think, oh, just be edgy and say anything, and that's gonna be funny all over." And no,
you gotta earn it, dude.
Your jokes are written for 2 blocks of downtown. You can't even go to Georgetown and tell your jokes and be funny. And so you're not writing for longevity. You're not writing for. I don't know why you can't read audiences. Why is that not a skill that's taught anymore?
Yes.
You should be able to walk into a room and go, and watch. Don't sit in the green room trying to gas us up with your riffs. Go look at the audience fill into the club and go, oh, okay. That looks like a married couple. I'm seeing how they're interacting.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a date night. 2 couples there. Looks like some single girls. Okay, these are frat bros. Those are definitely tech bros. Watch your audience, and then just watching the audience fill in, and you're listening to conversations, you start figuring out, oh, my bit about cum's not going to work in here, because these ladies are going to hate this joke. Yeah, you don't. It's so goofy to me how many guys are calling themselves comics and you can't read a room. That's a skill you should have. You should learn. Go quit writing I would just say, quit writing all the time for Just Kill Tony. I'm not saying don't stop. Go do Kill Tony. Go do it. But your joke should be able to work outside of this specific group that you're writing for. You should write universal sets. You should have a set that's like, hey, if the Tonight Show called me, I could do this right now. Here's my clean set.
Yes.
I could do this at a Disney parade in front of a church or a family. I could do this in any nightclub in America, and not 90% of the room. And I don't need 100%. I just need, I'll say this. If 80% of the room buys in, I want 20% to hate it. And I need some pushback. I don't want everybody, oh, Roderick's the greatest. No, I suck. That's why I'm not known. But
not me. I want that love. Give it to me.
80% of y'all. If 80% buys in, I'm like, that was a great night.
That's a good point, dude. That's real, man. And I tell you what, I actually, to speak to your point, it will have come out by the time this comes out, so I feel I can say it. I did do Kill Tony, and I honestly, dude, I told a joke about eating pussy, but I have made that joke into a clean joke, because
do you know how hard that is too? That's talent.
Because I knew it was so first of all, it's one of 2 jokes that I brought back from my first year of doing stand up. That
smart moves.
Which I I had a bad surgery, and so I had lost a lot of mobility on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started doing stand up, I was very mobile and very active, and so I was trying to refine some of that mobility again.
Mm-hmm.
And now those two jokes that I wrote my first fucking year of doing stand up have been I do one of them as a closer, and one of them is like my "this is how I'm going to get them on the hook" joke. And that one started off as like a me eating pussy joke. I said pussy like 12 times in it. And now I never say any cuss words in the whole joke. It's all like innuendo. And I went out there, and because I have had the time to work that material, make it something that works for everybody.
Yep.
Even though I am somebody that I don't think I would traditionally line up with that Kill Tony audience or crowd, because I, maybe have different, more liberal views or whatever from them. I was able to go in and make people laugh and have a good time with everybody, have a good time with Tony even, because I didn't make it for them. I didn't make it for them, dude. I wanted it to be good anywhere I took it. I'm going to keep telling that joke.
That's the key. Quit writing for, like, people are writing to be like, oh, I just got to write for downtown Austin. And I said, yeah. And they may not be thinking that,
Yeah.
but your material says that's what you're doing. You're writing for downtown Austin, and
Right.
It's never going to play Buda. You can't go to San Marcos. You can't even take that stupid joke to San Antonio. You suck. You can't go outside the state with it.
Mhm.
And I play, on average, 11 to 14 states a year.
Mm.
I cannot just be Austin funny.
Yes.
That's not going to sustain a career. That's not going to be success. You got to figure out, that goes back to our whole thing.
Yeah.
What's your success?
I had to learn a lot about, I do some Latino material, and when I went up to Missouri for the first time.
One of my favorite jokes you do is your Latino material about that cooking and your mother-in-law. So yeah.
Thank you, dude.
One of my favorites. I love that
Thank
joke.
you, man. But I went up to Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, dude.
Yeah.
5% of the population of St. Louis, Missouri is Hispanic. Only 5% of the entire population of that. And they make up 20% of all of the Hispanics in the state. So I learned, I had taken for granted being in the South, touring in the Southwest and stuff like that, like Albuquerque, Texas, wherever, Oklahoma, there are Latinos around, dude.
Yes.
Know? And so even in Austin, as lily white of a city as this is, it's some place that
it is.
I straight up, when I first moved here, I asked somebody, I was like, hey, where can I find a black club or like a Latino club to go work in? And they were like, Houston.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. There's not one here.
Right. But even here, people know like Latino culture and stuff and have heard Spanish. You know what I mean? So I went up there, and some of those jokes, the first time I did them, I was like, I need to figure out how to explain this better, because I was like using a local reference sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I need to make this accessible for Jim Bob and,
that's never met a Mexican a day of his life.
Yes. Dude.
And the Mexican food he ate was made by a white lady.
Yes,
okay?
Dude.
So he does not understand the culture or what I'm talking about. And it's weird because that was how my jokes were. My family is black, white, and Hispanic. And so there would be jokes I would tell. I was always kind of acutely aware that there are words that we're going to say on this side of the family that side may not understand. And I have to be able to translate between all three of these groups.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that was, I was just in the white girl, so that's what made it easy. Just very interracial family. But
that's
no,
so
it was doing that it helped me when I wrote, because I was always kind of acutely aware I'm writing for these different groups. I'm trying to make everybody laugh. And it was, but what hurt my feelings on the road is, like, I think Austin is only 12% black. And playing clubs here and being authentic to yourself is really weird sometimes, because I get a great buy-in in Austin, but just because you get a buy-in in Austin doesn't mean you're going to get it everywhere. I've done really well on the road. I've done well in cities where I knew I'm the only black dude here. Okay, there are no other black dudes at this show. What pissed me off, we went to Louisiana and we were at Lafayette, and I love Lafayette. And I love Lafayette comedy and like J.P. Leonard, Tyler Arsenal.
Yeah,
all
Lafayette's like a suburb of New Orleans, kind of.
No, it's up there ways, but yeah,
Okay, sorry.
Everything's a suburb to New Orleans.
Right.
It's all the woods. But we were there in Lafayette, and it's like, bro, it's out there, and I'm having a blast. And I go to this show, and there are no black people at the show. And I brought it up in the first 5 minutes, like, where are all the black people? I've seen your football team. I know you have black people here. Did y'all not tell them one was coming to do comedy? What happened? Like, how is this show a bowl of grits? What is happening now?
No pepper.
None. There's no pepper on this rice. What is happening? And I'm looking around, and somebody tells me, yeah, one of those, it was a touring show of black comics, like the We Done It tour, those cats that go out, right? And you go, oh, all these guys from, it's Catfish, Big Tater, Jesse Lee Simmons,
Big Tater.
There's always a black dude named after food and comedy, and he kills.
Catfish is so real, dude. Catfish is so real.
I'm not even racist when I say that. Every black comic knows one comic named Big Tater or Catfish. Okay,
or Catfish.
You know Catfish.
Yes.
Oh, Catfish Jones or Catfish Johnson. That's
a tiger.
Different dudes.
I've met 3 different tigers, dude.
I'm not making this up. Okay. So when you tour like
the comedian,
the comedian Kaz, the THA, not the okay, right. And you better spell it right, okay? Because I'm like, I do those shows, and they were like, yeah, that's sold out, and I was like, what? So did you go? They were like, yeah. Well, what was it like? Is it picture the Civic Center here? And there's only 10 white people in there, right? And I said, come on, it was a lot of black people were in there. But it was a good mix of audience. And I say, so all the blacks are going to see that show, but then you post a show and you're putting flyers out and no black people are coming to your show. Why are they not coming to your show? And they were going, there's very much a thing where they go, oh, that's white people comedy. And I go,
well, what? Maybe it is if that's what they're putting out there.
White people comedy, and so then I'll be like, "Well, I'm here. I'm not white.
Yeah,
I'm playing all kinds of clubs across the nation. But I've done shows like when I was in Montgomery, Alabama, and shout out to my boy Jasper Cruz and Cruise Control Comedy. They booked a really, really amazing show in Montgomery. Him and J Dubs and all that whole crew, man. And it was very diverse audience. And there were a lot of times when I'm in there and black people would be like, man, we didn't even know there was a comedy show coming through. And I'll be like, how? Because my boy's advertising it all over. Are we so segregated on social media that y'all don't, I'm not following this white comic or I'm not following this club. So they're putting it all out and nobody's coming to these shows. And that kind of gets me, man, because we'll show up at shows and be like, oh, I didn't know, and then they'll follow me. But I've had one of my favorite things. Rochelle McConaughey here in Austin says you go a lot of places most black people wouldn't go, and I was like, true. I'll give you that. I do. Look. I used to joke that I would play a Klan rally if they paid up front. Okay,
Jesus Christ,
you got to pay me up front. I'm not. There's no trust or credit here for you.
So I wear a cowboy hat and stuff a lot, and I have to tell people a lot. I tell people comics all the time. I'm like, hey, don't say that shit around me because that's going to come out of your mouth, but everybody's going to look at me and think it came out of my mouth, dude.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. And so I was like, man, I do these shows, and I went to places like, oh yeah, this is literally. Like, okay, I will say this. I've done one show in Mississippi, and I purposely turned down shows in Mississippi a lot. Mississippi in 2025 still has a lynching issue.
Right.
And so, out of all the states I play, I don't do shows in that state. And a lot of times they come to offer me gigs, and I'll be like, I'm booked. And I'll be at home. I don't have nothing booked that day. I just don't want to play your state because you have a lynching issue, and I don't want to be in a hotel room there. And I carry a gun, and I know I'm going to shoot whoever tries to come in that hotel room. So I just basically, for my own safety, just go, I will skip that whole state. I will play Alabama. I'll play Georgia. I played Arkansas. I've played Louisiana. I played Oklahoma. I'm all over. I will skip Mississippi every time.
Mm.
I'll skip right over Mississippi. I've done it maybe twice. I've maybe played 2 shows since 2020 in Mississippi.
Mm.
It's very limited how little I go to Mississippi.
Yeah. Do you think that being from the South gives you like a better, I guess, buy-in with audiences whenever you're working down south?
Yeah, a lot of times, because when they hear it in my voice,
Yes.
he's from here, but where? That's first. Where are you from? They always ask, because there's a twang in there. And it is born in East Texas, grew up in New Orleans, in Louisiana. So you hear the twang. But yeah, it's definitely a weird twang that's not all the way East Texas, not all the way Louisiana either.
Right.
So they can pick up on that. Also, when you're from the South and you understand the South, you kind of know the culture that you're playing in.
Mm-hmm.
I can pick up on all these different cultures. I understand. Like, I'll be the first to say, not every white person is racist, but every white person knows a racist person. Okay. We all know one. You're not going to tell me, not my family. You're a liar.
Yeah.
Every white person knows one.
If you don't know them,
you're the person, okay? You're the racist that your family talks about. You're the reason Thanksgiving sucks. But my thing is, like, with that is just kind of knowing, like, all these different cultures, and I'm weaving in because these were guys I grew up with. The rednecks and the Cajuns. Like, my friend group would be, like, black dudes, white dudes, and these weird-ass fringe groups. Like, there's the metalhead. That's the redneck in our group. That's the coon ass. And, he is definitely, we're going out on that old bayou. We're going to do some fish. I said, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Why am I in a bass boat trolling a bayou? Did I do that? Yeah. Have I shot shotguns? Yeah. Love that stuff, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm country as you can get sometimes. My dream used to be I wanted about 1.5 acres of land, a double wide mobile home, and a pickup truck. And I was going to have me 2 dogs. I was either going to have a golden retriever and a German shepherd, but I was going to have me 2 dogs out there on my 1.5 acres. And
sounds pretty sweet, Roderick. Yeah, I can't lie. They're speaking of my sensibilities here.
I had this dream. This was going to be my life, man. And I was going to be a double wide. Raise my kids on 1.5 acres. I'm going to have me a ride lawnmower. I didn't even want a garage. I want how we get those 10 buildings that look like auto shops and you park it and there's an office in it. I had the whole plan for my 1.5 acres.
That's so funny.
My I had uncles that had ranches. I rode horses. I knew how to tend to livestock. I knew how to shell peas. I did this in the summer when I'd come home to Texas and visit my grandparents. So I did country boy stuff every summer. And then I'd be like talking to my other black friends, like, y'all don't know how to do that. And they'd be looking at me like, boy, you go swimming. Okay, but y'all got pools, So first time I'm meeting black kids from the inner city, they're looking at me like, what? And I was like, yeah, we go swimming. Y'all want to go swimming? A pool party where we get in the water? And I'm like, that's where I found out. What do you mean most black dudes don't swim? That's a lie.
That's crazy.
All the black dudes in my family can swim. Y'all want to go to the creek? Yeah,
that's so funny.
So yeah, I just kind of learned to weave in and out all these different groups because I was living in those groups. But yeah, that's kind of like, I think I definitely get a buy-in.
I get that, dude. I think that's one of the cool parts about being. I think that Texas is so unique and special in that way. Yes. It's so many things. One thing I was talking about with Scott Wharton while he was on here, I was like, we've got 3 of the top 10 biggest cities in the country in this state. But yeah, we do also still have cows and horses. And, I live 10 minutes from the Capitol. I walk my dog out here to go chase the deer every morning.
Dude, okay. Over off of Mopeg, my buddy used to have an apartment there. And every year we would go watch WrestleMania there. We'd all converge on his thing. And every night after it, it'd always be a little crisp at night, we'd walk out. And there'd be so many deer in the parking lot. And it's like, I hope there are no baby deer by my car because I don't want a stag to chase me thinking I'm trying to hurt his baby.
Yes, dude.
And so
people think that deer are all sweet and cuddly and shit. Not those fucking bucks, dude.
Bucks will tear your ass up, boy. But I had a buddy fist fight one time. And This is
Buddy
why
fist
you
fight
always
boy.
need one redneck friend. Okay?
He's like, fuck it, I'll square up on him. I don't give a shit.
It's my buddy Josh, man. This is a big corn-fed white boy, man. He
Hell
lives
yeah.
in Chicago now. And we met at EA, and one time, I forget what was going on, but there was a deer, and it was at the baseball field in their neighborhood, and the little kid got chased into the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ran over there to the baseball field to try to get the little kid out the dugout and save him. And the deer was, doing that thing where they kind of stand up like this, and Josh went, pop! It cold cocked it, popped it in the jaw. The deer was kind of like, what happened? Bro, my boy punched the deer.
Dude.
And I was like, and then he got the kid out of there. And he looked at the deer like, don't start. And he ran with the kid. And I was like,
don't start, dude. He's
don't
like,
start. And I was
don't
like,
test me.
that's why you always need one corn-fed white boy in your crew.
Hell yeah.
And one time he punched a wasp out.
A wasp?
Yeah, this is the most country thing I've ever seen in my life. This wasp, it was 3 of us in the group, and it's trying to attack us. And we're like, me and the other girl, and we're just like, And all of a sudden we hear, you heard a sound. And when I heard that connect, I watched him punch, wasp fell.
Fucking windshield.
It sounded like that sound of it hitting the windshield, of a bug, a big bug hitting the windshield you just heard. And then it fell, and then he stepped on it. And I went, did you just punch a wasp cold? And he was like, yeah, he was trying to get too close.
Just trying to get too close. I punched him out.
And I said, I will never hate white people. I will always have. We could have a race war tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have some white boys on my team. Okay? I'm just saying, I go have a white boy on my team that can punch wasps.
That's so crazy.
That's my Avengers. There's one redneck on my Avengers.
That's real, dude.
But that's Texas, man. There's everybody. There's always, like they say, there's always one white guy that's invited to the cookout. You're always going to have one in your crew. I have multiple people in that crew like that.
Nice.
But my boy Josh that was a wild one. He just would do stuff, and I'd just be sitting there like, I'm so glad this dude likes me. But that's how I feel like Allison Vodovich is a hunter. Yeah. Allison, you see Allison, you think pretty ass white girl, but Allison could probably pop you at 200 yards. She's
oh yeah, dude. I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Allison Vodovich, dude. And it's kind of like that, dude. And I don't think that she is any less of a classy metropolitan woman than anybody else that I know. No. You know what I mean?
That's the duality of man in Texas. It's like, I go do country stuff on the weekends.
Yes, dude.
But I'm city. Okay.
We dude. I never lived in like the country proper, but me and my dad, when I was a little kid, dude, we'd go out on the weekends and go jig for crappie off the marina and like going fishing with my pawpaw. My pawpaw worked at a Bass Pro Shop and would go hunting every year. And we would get the deer venison and shit from the it's kind of cool because they would send all of their like management out on a hunting retreat.
Yep.
But they would donate like half of all of the meat that they would hunt to like orphanages and stuff. And then you got to keep the other half. And so we'd have like stacks of.
There's a kid in an orphanage in Texas that knows what venison tastes like. Okay, there's a kid real. That's Texas kids are built different than your Connecticut kid.
I'm over here trying to make Texas sound like it's so diverse and cultural. We got orphans eating venison.
We do. I just want y'all to know, like, there's hog hunting. I know a guy that paid for a semester of college hunting hogs because they got real bad in the Paladora Canyon.
Dude, you know Phil Garcia?
Yes!
That Phil Garcia used to have a job. His whole job was hunting hogs with AR-15s on a ranch.
It's money. Dude, there's money. Because that year, they got so bad, they were coming up eating the soybean and corn crops out there by Silverton, Texas. And so...
Shout out to Phil Garcia, by the way. Very funny guy.
Yeah, dude, that's my boy, too. I love his Phil, man. But they would pay you like $100 a head that summer to bring in hogs. And so... He would be there. I'd be getting there at 5 o'clock in the morning at this place to go pour cement. And I had a job one year where I drove a cement truck.
Nice.
Got a Class C to drive a cement truck, and
that's so cool. That's like a little boy's dream job, dude.
Oh yeah, I got to drive a big truck and pour cement out, and we built those the windmills. I was pouring the bases for windmills.
Oh, okay.
And so, man, I did that job, and I loved that stupid job, and it was so much fun. But what got me about doing it was I'm working this summer doing this. I met this guy there, cool kid. We're hanging at the diner one morning having breakfast, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm paying for college this way." And he'd go out hunt hogs in the morning, hunt till about noon, till it got about 110 in the canyon. You got to get out of there.
Wow.
The heat's going to kill you. So he'd get out, turn in all of his by noon, and then he's off for the rest of the day. But some mornings he's already from 6 to noon. He's already killed 12. He's made $1,200.
Wow.
Already that day.
That's
and they're paying him under the table cash.
Shit, I'm about to go start hunting some hogs, dude.
I'm about to. Look, we can go out there if we don't mind sitting on the stand and getting a 12 gauge. We could work some hogs one summer, bro. I was just saying, we can sit in this stand and just throw some corn down, watch them. Boop. That's a hit. Boop.
That's crazy. We'll go. I tell you what, my papa has a buddy that's got some land, and they go out there hog hunting. It's so crazy. He's got a little wife. She's like this little 5-foot Korean lady, and my papa swears up and down on his life that she watched her shoot a hog, catch its back leg. He was still trying to run away. She ran it down, pulled out her knife, jumped on the hog, and just like stabbed it to death.
Yeah. And then she looked at her husband. Cheat on me.
No joke.
Just want to
yeah, try that, dude.
I want you to know how it's going to go down if you cheat on me. And I was like, that's a Texas woman. She's not even Korean anymore. She's a Texas. My ex-wife. Boy, I love that white girl. She was like, and when I met her, she was so independent. I ruined her. I did too much for her. I
spoiled her.
I did, because there was like she would do stuff, and I don't need a man to do that. She'd change her own oil, and I'd be like, "Girl, I'll slip you bucks to change my oil.
Right?
I'll pay you to change my oil." And then one day, I just, I ruined her. I broke her because I was like, "Here, I took your car to the car wash, and I had your oil changed." To do your chores, and then she was like, you kind of you should, as a husband, make life easy for your wife. That's what they teach us in Texas.
Right.
Take care of your wife, make life easy for her, cook dinner, do whatever you got to do the laundry, put it away. I do all that stuff, and then she's less independent, and the things that I thought, oh, she's hot for this, I'm messing them up and changing it.
Yeah,
I should have just let her stay a strong, independent country girl. And then she's the reason I listen to George Strait so dang much, man.
Amen, dude.
I hate saying this. I hate saying this because I listen to a lot of country.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I listened to that much country. And then
it's addicting once you get into it, dude.
Well, I have a playlist on Spotify, and there'll be times I'll play it on the road, and I'll be like, if you love me, do you want me, my friend? And I'm singing along. Shannon was in the car with me, and Shannon's like, I must have went 7 songs deep, and then I realized, you've been singing out loud the whole time, and there's somebody in the car with you.
Yes.
And I looked over at Shannon, and he was like, keep going. He said, I'm trying to figure out which song you don't know. And I was like, you can't tell anybody. And then Amy, one time, I gave her a ride, and I picked her up in Austin. I drove her all the way back to Colorado, and I started singing it. She was trying to get her phone out to get a video of it, and I stopped. I said, no, I'll put house music the rest of the way. You're not going to listen. You're not catching me singing country music on video.
So funny.
But Allison Voitovich, we were doing one of her Litty Titties one time, and she was playing country before the show, and Fancy from Reba McEntire came on. Here's your chance, now, Fancy, don't let me down.
That's first of all one of the best stories of any song ever.
I'm singing it. Allison comes around the corner, she's singing it, and we both look at each other, don't let me down. We're like, that's between us. We're not telling people we did that. And we just kind of went to different corners of the club. But she was like, not you singing Reba. I said, that's a dope song.
Hell yeah.
We got to this is cool. But
every now and then you're just a single mom who works too hard.
I love that dang song, man. Yes. And if Josh Turner comes on, time is love.
Yes, dude. So that's so real. I was telling you earlier, that was like the birth of my whole re-love of being Texan, dude, was at a Willie Nelson concert. I was sitting there, I hadn't thought about Whiskey River in years. I when my wife met me, I was all like indie rock, like I loved rap music and stuff like that. I had a whole SoundCloud rapping career. And
But you ain't never gonna tell nobody about I know some country music. No, I get that.
yeah, but we were sitting there and I was like, Whiskey River, take my mind. I'm belting it, dude, my whole heart into this fucking song. And I'm like, how did I even know? I don't even know where this got into me, dude.
Yeah. My grandmother on my mom's side, my Madea, that was what we called her. Big Mama was my dad's mom. Madea was my mom's
No
mom.
way you had a Big Mama
I had
and
a Big Mama and a
real
Madea in my family.
your real family?
And I had a granddaddy and a pawpaw. Okay, so
Hell yeah.
Pawpaw and Big Mama were those grandparents on my dad's side, and Granddaddy and Madea were my mom's parents.
Okay.
And so I would Madea, my mom's mom, was a country fanatic. So she went to Lukenbach and saw the Outlaws in concert in Lukenbach.
What a dream, dude.
Yeah, so she was hardcore country. She kept a little 22 pistol in her purse in case somebody wanted to get racist. She was an old school country black woman, okay?
Nice.
But she didn't take no shit from nobody. And she loved country music. So when you go see her and I'd hear this music and I'd be like, oh, this sucks. Play New Edition. You know, listen to Motley Crue. I was listening to a lot of metal as a kid. And so she was like, I ain't listening to that. You better learn to like this song. He stopped loving her today. I hate that I know that song.
Yes, dude. That's awesome.
I knew George Jones. I knew Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn. I knew all these stupid songs. And then I'd be sitting in there listening to Conway. Baby's got her blue jeans. Why am I singing that stupid song? Where did I hear that stupid song?
Yes, dude.
So every summer I'd come home to Texas and I'd learn that music. And now I'm 54 and it's like, I know all these songs.
Yes, dude.
My grandmother that's the duality of Texas, bro. It's a weird. Okay. And you and I talked about this before the show, but the thing about Texas that a lot of people don't realize is like everybody knows Texas as this big Republican bastion. That's because Professor X, our governor, formed this group called the X-Men, and they gave up their manhood.
The X-Men?
They were X-Men now. So what happened was
bad.
So what happened was we from 91 to 95, this was Democrat country, and Wilson.
Yeah. And Richards.
And Richards, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dorothy Ann Willis Richards was her whole name. Like, I still remember, that's the most country-ass name
that is a country fucking name.
But we called her Ann Richards. Yeah, that was our governor, man. And she was a Democrat from like 91 to 95. And if I'm being honest with you, 2012 is when Texas changed. Rick Perry was still probably in office.
Yeah.
I think Rick Perry's still in, but 2012, the Republican Party and the Tea Party was coming on real strong in Texas.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of there were a lot of far right candidates that came in under the Tea Party. And they'd be like, what do you mean he was a former Grand Dragon of the Klan?
Yeah.
He was a local leader of a Klan member, and he ran under the Republican ticket. Yeah. And the Republican Party didn't kick him out. They wanted, because the Republican Party was down, man. They wanted
those votes.
We need to vote, so we're going to take these guys. And so Texas wasn't always this Republican bastion that we know it as. There was a time where people voted based on, is this candidate good for Texas?
Yes.
And I wish we would go back to that, because not every Republican is good for Texas and not every Democrat is bad for us. Vote on what they would do for the state, because that makes sense.
Yes.
What helps the majority of us is good for the state.
And I'll tell you what, my wife worked at the Capitol for the last 3 years, dude. And I tell people a lot. I have always considered myself a liberal, although I would describe my political beliefs as being a libertarian socialist, which sounds contradictory, but
I get that.
I just believe if we have a government, it should exist for the purpose of helping people. And other than that, you should mind your own fucking business, everybody. You know?
Also legalize weed. That's stupid.
Exactly. If I want to smoke weed, mind your own fucking business, everybody.
Yeah,
And,
and I'm a Christian, but I think they get on my nerves the most,
Yeah.
man, because Christians are trying to legalize morality, and I'm like, look,
yeah,
first of all,
that's me. That's my thing.
yeah, not everybody believes in my Sky Daddy trilogy. Nobody believes. That's my thing.
My Sky Daddy trilogy.
Yeah, I love those stories. That's
Yeah.
that Jesus is my Harry Potter. That T-shirt's never going to sell, but I still believe it.
I believe in it.
Yeah, but Jesus is my Harry Potter, and I believe in it, and I want to follow the tenets of it. And they're like, "Well, you're supposed to go out and make other." Yeah, but you're not going to browbeat them. I can't beat you over the head and force you to be a Christian. You should be able to look at my life and the way I treat people and love people and my kindness and go, I want that.
Yes, dude. Not to get too deep in the weeds on this, but something I try to I one of my biggest things I do on Instagram on a daily basis is quote the Bible at people because I had the good fortune of growing up in the church and it I think did a lot of positive. It also did a lot of negative for me in a lot of ways. But
yeah, there's some things
I think, I think that I personally believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ. I think that Jesus Christ had some good things to say. I'm dubious about Paul, to be honest. But
that's a whole nother hour.
We can get into that another time. But you know, with what Jesus Christ said, the things that he said, he gave us the Great Commandment and the Great Commission, right? The Great Commandment is do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Love everybody the way you want to be loved, dude. And that's
such an easy rule.
And the Great Commission, yes, he did tell us to go and spread the gospel. But when you look at how Jesus did it and everything, his whole thing was like people didn't believe in Jesus and come to his sermons because he was talking. People came to his sermons because of all the shit he was doing.
He was loving on people actively.
Yes. He was actively being a light to people. He was actively showing people love. The people that nobody gave a shit about or hated even. He was like, you should love
about the gays, the trans,
yes,
the immigrants. That's who Jesus was going to. Come on, man.
Yes,
it's such a simple thing. Love on people. Hey, am I trans? No. Are you? Yes. Well, then I can still love you. What are we going to do? You want to go eat? What are we doing?
Exactly.
You're my friend. You're a human being. I'm going to treat you with kindness and love.
And he didn't do it and this is also the thing I hate so bad. It's like, well, I love them. It's not a put down love. Love is not conditional like that.
Never.
It's not a put down love of like a pity love.
There's a whole thing about what love is in 1 Corinthians. Go look it up.
Yes.
1 Corinthians 13 chapter.
4, 5. Yes.
I'll point you to it. Just go read that. And then when you read it and you go, yeah, love is kind. Love is not keeping a record of all transgressions. You should be able to love people. And I don't have to agree with what you're doing. That's none of my business what takes place in your house. What I want you to remember about me is when we were together, did I make you feel loved? Were you safe? Was I a good person to you? Was I a good friend to you?
Yes.
And I figured that's how I'm trying to live my whole life. And I've told you, I was in the Panhandle, so I fell into that cult of Christianity. We had a mega church we went to on Saturday nights because I want to sleep in on Sundays. And plus, white churches respect the NFL kickoff.
I did have a pastor that would on purpose start church early if the Cowboys were kicking off at noon.
He never got the spirit on those Sundays, okay? I just felt moved by the spirit to go long, not on the 12 o'clock kickoff, I better be at church's chicken getting a 3-piece at noon and headed home to see the game by the first quarter.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about white megachurches. They were like, "Y'all want to come here on Saturday night?" Yeah, I do.
That is a much more convenient time for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Pastor. I like Jesus' timing on this. And then we would do that, man. And so I just kind of got into that whole thing. I was like all about it's Adam and Steve, not Adam and Steve. I said all the hateful, racist rhetoric and just.
Sure.
And I'm brainwashed into that, man. And I did one day, and I'm thinking like, Roger, you're a born again Christian. And I told you what changed me that made me more liberal was I was working at GameStop. And that's a weird thing to say, but when you're a manager at GameStop and you have all these kids working for you,
right?
These kids are vulnerable, okay? And they're telling you their life story a lot of times, and their birth dates, when they're graduating, their parents, their home life, their first love. You know who they're cheating with? I'm still keeping those secrets, you jerks. So what would happen was I would be in there, and one day one of the kids came out of the closet to me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I was like, well, this is my kid now. I've adopted him. And so I stayed by his side all the way through his graduation, into his first relationship, to his first job after he gets out of college. This kid and I still stayed in touch, you know. And I was against gay marriage, you know, because the church told me I should be. And one day he and I were talking about it, and he said something to me. He said, if I was dying, my partner can't come in the hotel, can't be in the room with me in the office as I'm dying on my bed in the hospital, because he's not family and we're not a couple. And I kept thinking, when you're dying, and as a guy I have combat action pins, and I've touched the bed where I thought I'm not going to be here in an hour. Twice where I thought I was going to die. Where I literally prayed the prayer and thought, okay, I'm checking out in the next hour. Let me just make peace with God and clear this schedule right now. And so, as somebody that went through that, and I thought, that's a scary time to be alone, away from the person who I love the most. And when he said that to me, and I said, I would never want somebody to not have the person that they love the most next to them when they drew their last breath. And on that moment, in that very moment, I flipped and I said, I support gay marriage. I was done. I never looked back. Then it made me start questioning everything. What else are you being a, closed-minded bigot about? Okay. And I went on a journey, and I was like, yeah, and I think, here's my thing. If you've never measured your Christianity or challenged your Christianity, I doubt your love for God. You should have it tested. You should be tested. You should have to know, this is why I believe what I believe.
I just reached out to somebody today because they posted something about how they were like, it kind of creeped me out a little bit, because it was like one of those like Christian influencer people that posted this. They were like, you don't have to listen to the thoughts that question God in your head. Like, straight up, it was like, you can just dispel those thoughts, and because if you're ever questioning anything, you can always know that the final answer is the Word of God. And which the person who, I understand that the person who posted that was posting it with like, oh, this is maybe something that brought me some comfort while I was questioning something or whatever, right? But I literally reached out to them and I was like, hey, you should, just a thought experiment for you to think about with this. First of all, if nobody ever questioned anything, and the final answer was always God's word, first of all, we wouldn't even know that the sun went around, or that the earth went around the sun. Because
the church was killing people behind that at one point.
Yes, dude. They locked Galileo up in a fucking tower for the rest of, like, a princess.
Because he believed, like, hey, I think the earth's revolving around the sun, not the sun around us.
And they were like, dude,
heretic,
cut it. And so, yeah, and similarly, and I said to her, I was like, if every Jewish person in the time of Christ had that same mentality, that their final word was the Torah, how would there ever have been Christians?
There's a whole book about a guy named Job, and he is having the worst year of his life. Okay? Yeah. He is basically living a whole 2020.
Yes, dude.
The Bible. It is his whole family.
Killer wasps, everything.
Yeah, all my money's gone. My family's dead, and I'm dying. I got cursed with the disease. And just like in 2020, his boys showed up and said, what did you do? That's who they are. They're supportive.
Right.
And so, yeah, you've obviously done some sinning, you judgmental dicks. And so what happens is the whole book is just them busting this dude's chops when he's at his worst.
Yes, dude.
And so then I was like, and even him, he goes, I'm never going to curse God. I'm never going to say God is bad or terrible. But I am going to ask a question, why me?
Yeah, he does a few times.
He asked, why me? Like, when God kept saying, look, I believe in my boy Job, and I think you could do whatever you want to do to Job. You just can't kill him, but whatever you do to Job, he's still going to be Team God. And I just need God to know, I'm glad you don't think that much of me. I don't ever want to be tested like that. I love you, but please don't. I got enough on this plate that you're giving me in this lifetime where I was like, Lord, I can't take no more. You already know what I went through in the military. I don't want no more on this plate.
Right.
So, yeah, but dude, that whole book, you should have your Christianity question. Like when I was getting shot at in the military, and that's how I got a combat action pin. I've been in shootouts more than once. I realized at that point, oh, I may not survive this. I may literally go meet Jesus in the next hour. And that's where a point where I was like, oh, it's going to suck if one of these bullets hits me. But man, at least I know I'm going to go see Jesus. Like that was my comfort in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to check out right now. There's still some chicks I'm trying to see in San Diego. But if I got to go, I got to go. And,
Amen.
you know, it's like, geez, you know that chick I've been hollering at all week. So,
Yeah.
so it was that kind of thing. But if I got to go, I got to go. But it's still, I had to, it's been tested. You should be tested. Your Christianity means nothing if it's never been tested. Because then you just have an idea that you're team God. You don't know. You just, I think I would be team God. Get shot at and then tell me you're still team God. Be in a
will
ship.
Really know.
Yeah,
right?
And an explosion hits your ship. And I was on Tripoli when mine 300-pound explosive hit us. And it only hit maybe about 15 feet from the JP5 fuel room. JP5 does not burn out. That's what we put in aircraft. So if it had hit that room, nothing can put JP5 out. Yeah. You're just going to die with this ship sinking around you into this ocean. And I just remember just thinking, okay, I have no fear in this moment. Probably that's why I got my PTSD. I'm just acting on this is what to do next. Get the Combat Information Center, start taking.
Man, thank you so much for your service. I've told you before, but
bro, I always tell people thanks, but I just want to go to college for free. No,
hey, and you know what? I think at least all of the good veterans I've ever met are usually pretty humble about it and don't want somebody to laud them with a lot of praise. But I'll tell you what, dude, I would be remiss to not acknowledge the fact that I get to be in a country that's the big dog, that has the best economy. That you look, whatever else, there's a lot of creature comforts that I get to enjoy because of people like you that are out here maintaining that military-industrial complex.
Somebody stood on the wall, like they said in a few great men, and they said, "Yeah, I stood on the wall. I stood on the wall too long." Okay, I will say that because man, those combat action pins, I was just like, because I had PTSD to the point where I used to get up fighting out of my sleep. I'd wake up in the middle out of a dead sleep throwing hands.
Dang.
So yeah, I don't do that anymore to any woman that's thinking about living with me long term.
Don't worry, I have restraints.
I've never hit any woman I was with. Okay, but my thing it was so weird because they asked me that.
My wife hits me in her sleep all the time.
Oh, they used to ask me that. Have you ever hit your wife? I said no, because in my sleep, if I went to sleep and she was there, I would wake up thinking, okay, she's here in relation to me. I have to protect her. So I would get up throwing fists, but never in her direction.
Right.
But I'm jumping out of sleeping to a full stand, throwing punches, big dog punches. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to level something. And then I'd come to as I was throwing punches, and to the point where my family knew, knock on the door loudly. Don't come in to wake me up. Don't walk over next to me and touch me.
Yeah.
My feet.
Right.
You can touch my feet.
Because you're outside of the strike zone.
You're outside the strike zone. If I feel my feet, but if you would just knock loudly and then open the door, knock loudly and say Dad or Roderick, I go, oh yeah, what's up? I'd wake up enough. But if you come in and touch my feet and go, Dad, and touch my feet, my kids knew that. Because my kids had seen me in a dead sleep. Like, I don't know what was happening, but they were in the bedroom watching a movie. I was knocked out. So my wife and two of my daughters were watching this movie in our bedroom. I am dead asleep. I jump up out the bed swinging. My daughters are like wide-eyed, like, is he fighting a ghost? What's happening right now? I'm scaring the crap out of my kids. And
Fuck you, Casper.
Yeah. And then they were like, Dad, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And then my wife explained, yeah, Dad, sometimes he's fighting demons. He fights demons in his sleep.
No joke.
And so it was one of those weird things where they kind of picked up on it like, oh, yeah, that's PTSD. I didn't even know what it was for years.
Wow.
I didn't even know what I just thought, oh, why am I like that?
Well, yeah, people forget that PTSD wasn't like really a part of the conversation for a long time.
No, we called them shell-shocked after World War One and World War II.
Yep.
And then
happened to my great grandpa. He that's how I met my I'm part French because my great grandpa got shell shocked, and because he woke up in a bunker and all of his buddies around him were dead except for him. And it was the guys that all came from Texas with him, and like he couldn't go back to combat because he couldn't hold food down. He couldn't eat and hold food down, and so he couldn't go back to combat. They made him work in the mess, and that's how I met my girl. Mare was working in the mess hall for troops, and he went to a dance with all the local French girls after they
see. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, that's why there's so many Asian ladies with this. They were over there, and they were like, I guess I'll bring one home. That's how it happens. And that's how Soon Lee became your grandma.
That's how Soon Lee became your grandma.
That's how Soon Lee got her groove back.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's it was weird, man. Like I went through that stuff, man, and I was just like, I didn't know what it was. It's just like you'll work it off. I still don't get paid for PTSD.
Wow.
By the military, I have disability, but I don't get that one. And it was because, funny story, they sent a report last November when I applied for it, and they said, believe combatant has it. Combatant has all the stressors for it. Has served in a war zone. Not sure service connected. And the reason it's not service connected is because no psychiatrist will go, yeah. They won't pay for me to go see a doctor that'll say yeah. And I go to a psychiatrist now, and I'm paying for it out of pocket. But I just said I want the PTSD diagnosis for myself. I need to understand my own mental health. Why did I do this?
It's so crazy. I was talking about how Esther working at the Capitol made me more radical against some conservative ideas and things like that. We watched them shoot down a thing that would have given aid to veterans. It would have given extensive medical care to veterans and health care to veterans. But in the addendum to that, they wanted to focus on like homeless veterans. And because conservatives were saying that on the off chance that non-veteran homeless people might benefit from this project, they shut it down, dude.
And I want look
because they were so happy to spite the few that they were willing to fuck over the many, dude.
This is the number one thing, and I'm not to be political because, like I said, I used to be a Republican. I have said this many times. If you want to know who really cares about you, look at how they vote. Because Republicans love to show up when it's time for pressers and photo ops. But then go look at how they vote and if they really give a crap about you.
Yes.
And that's going to change your opinion on a lot of things. And so once I started doing that and just kind of going, how did they vote on this issue?
Yes, dude.
And now I'm like, I don't think they like me as much as they say they did. Because why did you vote like that? That doesn't...
Right.
If you like me, you wouldn't vote that way. But yeah.
So on this topic, I there's a couple questions that I do want to ask you here before we wrap this up. One of them, I think, we're talking religion and politics. I think this is perfectly relevant. I always want to ask everybody, what do you think could make people love each other more?
Oh man. This is going to sound weird, but I 100% think when you spend some time in somebody else's shoes, you have to walk in that life for a while. It changes your opinions because everybody has an opinion about immigrants and immigration. Let's use that as an example. I have my thoughts about immigration. I have my thoughts about Muslims and Jews. I have thoughts. Go into that culture. Go into that culture and live in it for a while, which is what I did. I've been overseas. I've been in those cultures, and some of the nicest people I ever met in my life were Muslim people that were open their doors to me and were kind to me
That's a
and
fact.
fed me. And I'm talking about in Bahrain, in Dubai. I've been in these countries. I've met people. Okay, I've walked the streets of, and had those reactions with people. So walking in somebody else's shoes for a while really opened me up to culture. One of the favorite lies people used to tell me is Africans don't like, African Americans.
Mm.
Well, I've been to Africa, and that's a lie. I had a blast there. Okay, they were super kind to me, but also I'm a dope dude, so you should like me. Just saying,
Hell
if
yeah.
you haven't met me, you should meet me.
Yeah,
I'm
if you
dope.
don't like Roderick, you're the problem.
You really are. And I have 3 ex-wives that will tell you that. They will say, yeah, you're definitely the problem. He's very lovable. He's just crazy. But my thing is, I would do that, and then it'd just be like, oh, my thoughts of what I thought this country was about has changed. There's one right now, like a lot of people are like, well, what about the Israelites in Israel? And I go, okay, let's talk about that, because the Jews that in America aren't necessarily Israelites. I said, those are 2 different groups. And I said, if we talk about Israelites, there are some Israeli Muslims, brown skinned people. So let's really talk, like, what do you know about the country? Yes. And what has the news taught you about? How much did you even Google about the country? Just do that. What did you Google about it? You could have found some information about it that you didn't know just Googling it. So I'm like, people have all these ideas. Well, these are what the Palestinians are. Have you met any?
Yeah.
Have you sat at a lunch table with any? Because what you know about them is based on the news. You don't know enough. You might want to go sit with some people and talk to them and literally learn what that culture is really about. Because I promise you, the news has never told you enough.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's the key. If I wanted people to love each other, it's hard to hate somebody at lunch. I don't know what it is about soul food and sitting down in the state of Texas. I've sat across people whose family members were in the Klan. I have a white buddy. His dad, his grandfather, and his uncle were in the Klan, and that's still one of my favorite people to go to lunch with. That's my boy. He is the outcast in his family. Okay, good. I was like, he's the outcast in his family. He is okay. You got colored friends? They don't say colored, but they hate him. They are mad at him, and that happened to a kid too, man. There was this story about a guy. He was being shaped to be the next leader of one of the, I think, white Aryan resistance movement. This kid, his dad was high up in it. David Duke had started that group, and this kid was being shaped. He was the future of the white Aryan resistance movement, war. And what ended up happening is he went to a college, and at that college he was around black people and brown people and lesbians and gays. Man. And
we'll have to get into this and that another time.
Yeah, but he met those people, and it changed him. He's not in. He's hated now.
Dude, that's so. And I was just getting into this argument with somebody about DEI recently. There's this. They love to quote this thing with Harvard that these Asian kids were saying that they sued Harvard successfully because DEI was giving them less opportunity to get into Harvard because they already had too many Asian kids or whatever, right? And so they were trying to they were like, yeah, and the whole argument, and that they love to make this argument is like, well, black kids shouldn't be taking those spots that they didn't earn. And which part of me is, first of all, like, you think that they're letting anybody into Harvard?
I can tell you they're not. I can tell you for a fact they're not.
Yes, dude, you think that they're going to let anybody into Harvard that didn't make awesome fucking grades?
No.
You know what I mean?
If Harvard's considering you, you got the grades to back it up.
Yes,
but the thing was, it's always a white person. Yeah, but he was taking it from, taking those spots from Asian kids. Yeah, but there weren't white kids getting in.
Yes.
You thought there was a white kid that was getting in?
Yes.
It was Asian kids getting in. So DEI wasn't helping you either until it came along, and they were like, okay, we got to let some more white kids in.
Yes, dude.
And so, but dude.
And so it's one of those things where it's like, But also, there's the argument to be made that it isn't even just, there is something to having a diverse culture in a place of learning. When you look at historical places of learning, that the Library of Alexandria, Baghdad, you know what I mean? Like places where they were historical centers of learning, they were super diverse places. Because you can't, nobody has all the right answers. No one group, no one ethnicity, and you become a richer, better rounded thinker when you have more stuff around to think about. You know what I mean? Like
and
more different
people
ideas.
To push back on your idea.
Yes.
That's how science works. Somebody pushes back on an idea, and then you go, well, let's go prove it.
Yes,
let's go test it. Let's prove it. And the problem that we have in politics now is everybody just thinks, well, they don't think like I think, so they're wrong.
Yes.
Prove it to me. Prove it to me. And then they'll say the stupidest stuff. And it's like, and I said, okay, well, where did you get that number from? Well, my dad's uncle has a page on Facebook, and I'm quoting his numbers from there. And where did these exaggerated numbers? Okay, well, let's Google that number. And I've done this where I did crime numbers because, oh my God, I don't know why people think I'm not college educated because I do stand-up comedy. And I'll show them. You know, I've written papers about stuff like this. Let me show you. So I'll pull out stuff and show. Here's how we do research at a collegiate level for a serious paper or topic. Yes. And I'm showing them all this stuff that I'm doing the research. And also, let's look at this book. Have you ever read this? Well, no, I never read this. Well, you read your Uncle Jim Bob's page and some fake numbers he put up that were exaggerated, and you thought, oh God, white America.
Confirmation bias, dude.
It is so crazy, man. Nobody wants to do the research. Everybody wants to be right. And but yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff like that. I think sitting down to eat with people and being forced to walk in their shoes in other cultures, makes it easy for you to go, you know what? I might be wrong about that. My take on that may not be well informed.
I think that's a good way to think about it, man.
Yeah, you come eat lunch with me. I can change. Look. I don't know if I'll get you to like gay couples, but you're going to have 2 gay friends when we're done. Because I'm going to bring them to lunch with us and I'm introduced to you. And one of them's going to make the fried chicken we're eating. So, nobody is bad if they can make chicken this good. I know.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
So, that's awesome, dude. So, I'm going to go ahead and lead that into this next question is, what is something that can always make you happy?
Oh, that always makes me happy?
Yes, without a doubt. Even shit-ass day, shit-ass mood, fuck everybody. What's something that can make you happy?
Oh, my God, dude, this is tough, and I hate seeing this because it's going to make me sound like such a bad person. 3 things I can guarantee that no matter how bad my day is going, I'm going to get happy if it happens. It's going to be Japanese RPG video games. That was how I would dissociate. I would play those games like Persona and Final Fantasy Tactics, which they just remastered. I'd play video games, anime, and my grandkids. Video games, anime, my grandkids. My grandkids are all comedians. And I
love that.
They are all just smart-ass little punks. And so there'll be times, like 2 of my grandsons are always threatening to beat me down on Madden. They're always talking like, Pawpaw, I don't know if you've ever heard of this video game Madden, but I'm going to run the score up on you. And I'm like,
I've been playing Madden since before you were conceived, big dog.
You weren't even a thought in your dad's testicles when I was beating people down in Madden. And I worked for Electronic Arts, the game company that makes Madden. And I always talk back to him like, yeah, you probably would. Which button throws? I'm about to hang 56 on this idiot. I'm about to run him off.
56 on this idiot.
Yeah. I'm talking noise to him like, which button? How do you run? And then I'm running in a circle around it.
So bad.
Yeah. I'm just beating down my grandkids. I love it. Then when they talk noise to me about, hey, you want to play 2K? And I'm like, that's your game. Papa don't have a 3-point shot in 2K. That's how bad I am. I'm suburb black. Funny. I am not good at basketball. They're going to hang it on me. Who is that? Oh, dude, yeah. And I felt that vibe. I said, what is that? Okay, it's me. Remember how I told you it's a Monday? They're going to.
Yep.
They're going to do it. That's why I needed it. I just felt my phone vibrate. I was like, what is happening? It's not that serious. It's probably one of my grandkids sensing the disturbance.
Saying something.
You want to play Madden now? Get back on. You won't beat me now. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you? Okay.
That's perfect, dude. All right, so I know that you have spent a lot of time in Texas, but you didn't claim being Texas raised, and you don't have to be from Texas to answer this question. You know what I mean? What would it take for you to unironically say yeehaw out loud? How many beers? What's the situation?
I don't know.
What would it take
I've said howdy a lot. Okay.
Howdy. Okay, so I was telling somebody recently, somebody was getting onto me for code switching Texan that I started saying howdy, and I picked up howdy when I was waiting tables because man, it's good. Howdy's good. I like howdy in the same way I like shucks.
I've hit all shucks a couple times.
Well, shucks has all the good mouthfeel of shit and fuck. Yeah, that sounds wholesome as hell.
It is.
And howdy, dude. Howdy is immediately you can set the tone with howdy, dude.
I don't know if I've ever hit. I ain't never hit a yeehaw.
I don't think I've ever hit a yeehaw in my life. For unironically, never.
But there's so many Texas things I do that I know that's weird. But I will say I'll hit a howdy. I've done a shucks. I was like, I'll say, what in the world? Or what in tarnation? I've hit a what in tarnation.
Ooh, yeah.
I hit a what in tarnation is this? And when I said it, I was like, ooh, where did that come from? Why did I? Then I'm looking at my white wife going, that's your fault. That's your people. That's why that tarnation came out. But no, man, tell you, I've never hit a yeehaw. I don't know what, if I won the lottery, like a big one, not even a big one.
It's got it, but you got to be playing the Texas two-step.
If I get a Texas two-step for a meal, I would hit y'all with a yeehaw. I'd hit one so quick from my heart. It'd come from deep in my soul.
Hell yeah.
That'd be the only way I can see it happening. Because there's no way I would do it outside of that. I know.
Gross. It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing, but I think that there is a moment for me that hypothetically exists where I'm in the boot and hats and I am drunk and I might be out two-stepping with my wife. I think that there is a number of Lone Stars that it happens, dude. I think that number does exist for me, unfortunately.
There might be an area where you're like, I was 2 Lone Stars in, but I couldn't help it. I'd be like, okay,
right.
Got to give from this one. I was 3 Lone Stars deep, man, and then all of a sudden, Randy Travis came. Y'all, it's got to be a part where you would hit it, but I don't know if it exists. But man, here's my thing. Most Texas thing I've noticed is when I traveled, the first time I went out on the road in the South, we go, "You want a Coke?" And Coke means every soda,
everything.
Okay, and I'd be like, "What flavors you got?" That's Texas, and they'd be like, "Oh, we got Coke, Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb." You know, they can't have Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb. You're gonna have one or the other. And I only go to the places where they serve Dr. Pepper because I'm bougie. I want my soda to go to college.
if I'm in a Mr. Pibb establishment, I'm having a bad day.
Mr. Pibb, what kind of redneck bar is this? Mr. Pibb didn't even go to college.
They got Mr. Pibb. They got Big Red on tap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now I will give Mr. Pibb a run at that point. They're like, hey, Big Red, hey, mix up Big Red and Mr. Pibb together in a cup for me. That's it. Make a suicide to go. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, now I'll do that. And then I went to the East Coast and you want to pop? I'll pop you in the mouth. What you talking about? you gotta hit me with something like, I understand. But yeah, no, I do get that. There's some things I do that are Texas as hell.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Those two. Howdy, shucks, tarnation has come out, but never a yeehaw.
Right.
No yeehaws.
Hell yeah. That's a good answer, dude. That's a good answer for that. All right, this next one's kind of deep, so
okay.
I'd like to sprinkle the yeehaw in before I get into this one.
Oh gosh, about to hit me with one to make me think. Okay, let's go.
And I tell people all the time. So to answer this question, it's not what you think. Okay, so the question is, if you got to choose an afterlife, not what you think will happen, not even what you hope happens, but or I guess it's really if you got to choose, like God, like He gave you a big chart, and He's like, Up to you, big dog. What do you want to happen next? What would you choose for your afterlife to be?
I want to see all my loved ones, friends, and family.
Classic heaven.
Classic, dude. That's the best part about classic heaven, man. It's just like all the people that have passed before me that I love and I miss. I want to see my grandparents and my dad, my best friend George. There are people I want to see, man. I miss them, and a lot of this stuff they didn't get to see me do some of the cool stuff I do. So I want to see them and say, "You had the best seats in the house. Was it a good run? Was it a good show?"
Yeah.
I want to see them and ask them that, and then I think that's what I want. But also, recently, I had this thought, and I told somebody, if energy can't die, and this energy is just going to turn into another form of energy.
Yeah.
I would love to travel through space. I just want to be energy traveling through space, looking at the stars, seeing the galaxy, seeing our whole system, our solar system, and just seeing the majesty of this thing and like nebulas. And I think that would be the most beautiful thing to transfer from this into energy and to see all that. To just have all that knowledge, man. And then when I was younger, I used to say, I want to see my fans, but I also want to be able to talk to God and say, okay, who killed Kennedy? I have questions. Who killed Tupac? I know the first hour is going to be who killed. Did Elvis fake his death? But like the first hour with God is going to be so annoying for him because he's just going to.
Oh yeah, I bet you he already has a pamphlet. He's like, here's all the questions. Yes, we did land on the moon. Like
all your questions are in this book, and I'm gonna be like, you knew? He said, I'm God. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, you are.
What if God's like, it's like you get the pamphlet. It's like yes, we did land on the moon, but actually, birds were fake. They were.
Oh, that'd be the one that blow my mind. What? Birds were agents for the CIA. You cooked with that one, guy. Right? You cooked.
He was like, pigeons, dude. Come on, I didn't make those.
Like, were you drinking when the platypus was thought of? Yeah, just like, yeah, we were listening to George Strait.
I was about one Lone Star away from a yeehaw when I came up with the platypus. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Nice, dude. I like that.
Look, you hit me with that one. I was like, I got an idea on this one. Yes. Okay.
But that's awesome, dude. I like that, dude. I think for me, whatever it ultimately ends up being, I just hope the party's not over.
Yeah, that's
that. I just want the party to keep going, dude. That's
man. Look, there ain't no way I'm gonna get back to my grandmama, and I'm not gonna ask her. You're not making no cornbread dressing up here,
right?
Is there a Luby's then?
Is there a Luby's? Oh, dude. Oh, Luby's I can't explain to people. I took my wife to a Luby's for the first time recently.
That one over there off of about 35. Yeah, I know where you were off 35 and 183. I know exactly.
And I was trying to tell her, I was like, babe, you have no idea how much time I spent in the Luby's with my grandparents as a child.
Luby's and Piccadilly were the two in the South that you went to. And if you didn't know about a Luby's, you knew about a Piccadilly.
I've heard of a Piccadilly. I've never been to one.
There was a Piccadilly. That was the same thing as Luby's.
Okay.
More little Southern cooking.
Okay.
And yeah, man, you knew about those places. You went to a Piccadilly or a Luby's as a kid in the South.
Luby's was the first time I ever saw a blue Jello. I thought it was really fancy for that.
Boy, look, they also used to make that lime green Jello that was just basically Cool Whip and green Jello with nuts and whipped cream and a cherry on top, and you'd be like, do they have Grey Poupon? What is this like?
Yes, dude. I really thought Luby's was a pretty fancy establishment as a child. Yes. I really thought it was pretty.
We going out to eat at Luby's. I'm like, did somebody win the lottery? What's happening?
Yes.
We live in high on the hog here.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, no, that's Southern. That's Southern. Look, you have lived in the South if you go there.
That's very, yes, dude. Luby's makes me think of my girl Mary, dude. She was French, but I tell people all the time, of course, I love Latino women, and of course, I'm Texan, dude, because like French people, are almost so Latino and so Texan in so many ways. First of all, it's all about good cooking. It's all about like having a big opinion and loving on each other, and everybody's got to kiss and hug and shake hands, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is like the big family, like that aspect of it.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, having a my grand-mère that spoke French was so big for me, dude. Like that was so. I felt very much a part of the immigrant story of America, and it makes sense to me. I love that my kids are going to have an abuelita that speaks another language too.
Dude, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was one of my favorite things about my granddaughter. My daughter Kiara's baby
Yeah.
is Lily she could speak Spanish. Her dad was Mexican. That whole side of the family can speak Spanish. Her mom, my ex-wife Julie, could speak Spanish. So it was like she had all these different cultures around her.
Yeah.
So she is the most diverse kid. She only scared me when she was 3. And we got her a tablet, and she would be sitting there watching. I'd catch her watching Disney movies in like Russian and Chinese. She'd put it in there, and she still would know the whole what was going on. And I'd be like, "Is this kid an agent? Like,
Is this kid? When did
is
it
this
get
how
to
the
you?
military's keeping up with me?" Because I did have a top secret clearance in the military. I did some things, and so I started thinking they've embedded an agent in my family. And it's my granddaughter. She's the one that's like, you know where you are at all times. And I was just like, not my baby, not my grandbaby.
That's so funny.
But yeah, dude,
I knew they were gonna come for me one day.
I knew all the secrets. So yeah, I do know a lot of crazy stuff. But yeah, that was the thing. It was just with her, and I just think that's so awesome that she gets all these best of both worlds. She's just surrounded by it, and I love that for her. But yeah, it's cool.
Cool,
I think that love immigrants, learn them, learn who they are, know who your immigrant neighbors are. They'll treat you good and feed you. When everything goes to hell, those people,
amen,
they got you back.
So I want to ask you. I have one last question for you that we're going to end with. But before we get to it, I know that you are going to be filming your new special coming up.
Yes,
at Dallas Comedy Club. Tell me a little bit about that real quick.
October 18th. So it's my second comedy special with 4x3 Media. It'll be my 4th album.
Hell yeah.
4th comedy album. It is by far my favorite set I've ever done.
Nice.
Like this is a culmination of 2 years of touring and really rediscovering my life. And I'll say this, I love all my work I've done, but I don't think any of them have caught me the way, like if you come see my live show, it's so different than any of my albums. I don't think I've ever recorded an album where it was like, this is what a live show with me looks like. Because
are you filming and doing the audio?
Yes.
Okay, great.
It's all, and we're doing it in one take. There's not multiple shows. There's one show, and we got to get it all in one show.
Wow.
I always put myself under pressure like that.
And you're going to release it on YouTube, right?
No. So this one, they're shopping it. They shopped the first one. Okay. They shopped the first one, and we couldn't get a buyer into it, but they did shop it. There's same with this one. We're gonna. I think this one's got a better chance at getting picked up by somebody because it's like you. I've changed a lot, so it's not as dirty as a lot of my previous albums. My albums are just dirty. I don't regret them. That's who I was. But this one here is telling a very interesting story about my legacy at this point in my life. And I feel like it's a story that a lot more people are going to be able to relate to because I saw that on the road, how people related to it. So, yeah, I'm excited. Been nervous because I'm the executive producer. And I'm going to get another IMDb credit for that. But it's also, I am stressed out all the time. Like, I had to pick the club. I'm talking to production teams. I'm talking to comedians. I'm juggling all these different hats. And it's different when somebody else is doing that for you. Yes. And then you just get to come in and be funny. That was my first comedy special. I just got to show up and be charming. But no, this time I'm literally wearing that executive producer hat. And it is beating my butt. It is beating me down to do this one. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to wear this hat again. This hat's got your boy to miss some sleep some nights, man. Right. And I think it's just I'm overthinking it. And then the other day I was doing a show for Destiny Lane at Stargazer. And I just said, Yeah, just quit thinking about it. You've been doing this set for a year.
Yep.
What's the point in overthinking it now?
Yeah.
It's either ready or it's not. You're going to find out.
Yes, dude.
You're going to find out. If you believe in it, then it's ready. And that's where I'm at.
And I think it's just like anything, right before I went and opened for Fluffy, everybody that was talking to me, I was telling them I was nervous, and they kept just telling me, just another set, you told me.
Yeah.
Just another set, just another room.
Don't overthink this, bro. Yeah, I mean, and I say that to people because I think a lot of times, especially in Austin, we don't. I work at the mothership, okay? One of the biggest clubs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hits me sometimes that I'm a paid regular here. I get paid to go up on that stage when I'm in town, and I send them availability, and they book me.
And that's that stage that every fucking buddy, especially in this town, wants to be on, dude.
Yeah, and I don't think about it sometimes because to me, I'm so busy saying it's just another set. But there was a lot of work that went into getting to that being another set. And so sometimes I feel like, I need to take that victory and enjoy. Like, I'm blessed, man. Some of my closest friends in this business I've met in that green room, man. I love Danny Martinello. It's a great dude, man. And I would have never met Tiffany Haddish had I not been working that room. Jamar Neighbors and I knew of each other, but I know him now because of that room.
Yeah, Jamar's a cool guy. Shout out to Jamar Neighbors and your paintings.
So it's a lot of dope comics. Tommy Pope, I met him in the green room, man, and I love. And I'll say this right now, Mom is so adorable. And at one point when I met, I thought, damn, she's a fine Puerto Rican woman. Then I saw her mama, and I said, I wonder if she wants a stepdad because her mama is hot. Okay, or you're hot, but your mom is my age. Okay, and
hell yeah.
I would be a wonderful stepdad to you. I think our parents are still married, but I'm just saying, if something goes wrong,
if anything goes wrong,
I'll get your boy. Okay, I'm trying to be there for the family. I don't know why I said that.
I'll support you. I'll show up to all your games.
Please clip that. I'm gonna send that clip.
We got it. We'll make it happen.
Just let you know, put it out there. But no, man, and she's, dude, every time I see her, she hugs me. She's one of my favorite people to just kind of be in a green room with.
Yeah.
She's just good energy. She's a good person. Yeah, and Darius Bennett, another dope dude. Darius is here in Austin a lot, man.
Yeah.
Brent Reed's also a regular over there now, and I love Brent Reed, and I love Jamie Lee Simmons, his lady.
Oh, I met Jamie Lee, yeah.
They're dope, man. There's just so many amazing people. Bianca Parada is over there with me. And so Bianca used to book me on shows before we both ended up at Mothership. So it's a cool feeling. So yeah, I like it.
Nice, dude.
So we'll find out. We're going to find out.
It's going to go great, man. I'm positive. Everybody that's ever... I was so happy when I was booking a show over at Tom's Comedy Club, dude. I was so happy when I got to put you on a show, dude, because I knew that it was going to be easy lifting for me, dude. I knew that it was... I knew it was just a show I wasn't going to have to worry about, that the audience was going to just have a good time.
So much fun in that show. I acted awful. In fact, there were jokes I did at that show that I was testing that night that are in the special.
Nice, dude.
That was I used that as a test run that night, and there are jokes from that night that like they made the final cut, and I know that when you hear it, you're gonna go, I know that joke. I know the punchline of the joke. I watched that joke get developed that night. But yeah, it's a culmination of 2 years of just like, this is my last 2 years of just writing all the time. And what was funny is we wrote it, when I originally wrote it, I want to say it was at an hour 25. It was maybe an hour 45 first time I tried it. Wow. And I was like, there's nobody about to do an hour 45 of listening to me.
Yeah.
That's a 90-minute movie, basically.
Right.
Randomly. I'm not doing that. So what I did is I started kind of trimming it down. And I was like, these jokes are good. They just don't fit to this story I'm telling.
Right.
So I was pulling stuff out. And I think right now I've got it to between 53 minutes was the last time we did a test run. And that 53 I still cut out. Probably about 10.
Wow.
So maybe I made we're gonna see what the
You're giving yourself 7 minutes of laughs to work with.
Basically, we're gonna see what happens. But
Right.
yeah, it was stuff that I cut some stuff out that I really wanted on that album. But we're gonna see. But that's all I can do now. Just fingers crossed. And this Saturday, 5:00 Saturday, cameras will turn on and start rolling, and we're gonna just one take live.
Hell yeah, that's crazy.
We're gonna see what happens.
It's gonna be good, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited for when it comes out, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be a crazy night. I'll tell you right now, because the one take thing throws people off. They say, "What do you mean one take? You don't do 4 shows and then pick your best?" No, one take. Every album you've ever heard me drop, we went in with one night, one take live.
Wow.
That's
crazy. Nobody does that. Most people do chop them up and do a bunch of different.
Do 4 shows and then you pick your favorite from the 4. No, every album that you've ever heard me do, we recorded every single one of. All 3 of them were done in one night, one take. This was what you got.
Wow.
And so a lot of times that's why I always say I don't feel like some of the jokes that make the album, when I hear them back, I'll go, I was good at that time, but that's not a classic. I'm never keeping that joke. That's not on my greatest hits. And so I write a lot of times where I think about my greatest hits, like how bands would do. And I go, is that one of my greatest hits? Is that the joke they're going to know me 14 years from now? This one here is the greatest hits album by itself. There's some bangers on here that I was like, that joke's been murdering for 2 years, and y'all are all going to get to see it all put together. It's been weird the way I wrote this, and I've been taking it around the country. It's like nobody got to hear the whole set. Cody pretty much knows it from me.
Right. I bet he took all the notes.
He's in the line. I'm putting him in my liner notes. I don't know if they're going to let me be like a producer, but yeah, I was definitely like one of the greatest tour assistants. He basically helped me rewrite he would give me all the tags he would be taking note of. Like, you should keep that tag. I should be like, I should give like a co-writer credit, but he's going to be like, I just gave you tags that I thought were funny that you wrote and said keep that. So I got to give him some kind of a credit in the liner notes. He's going in.
Nice, dude.
He's going to be in the liner. He's actually coming to open for me too.
Nice, dude.
Come up. I was like, it didn't seem right, man.
Who else would be?
I've toured with this man since 2020. I was like, how do I not bring the guy you see me around the country with all the time?
Right.
And I hit him up and I said, look, man, this is weird, but I don't want to be rude. Do you want to open for me? He said, of course I do. What are you?
I wasn't going to open for you.
I was like, I hit it with that. And he's like, wait, what is happening right now? And I was like, I just didn't know how you would feel about it. Like, that was how I felt, like one of my good friends in Dallas. I love Kevin DeAnda. I love Sylvia McCullum. And I know some Dallas people. But I could not bring myself to ask who tours with, Tim Meadows to come.
Right.
We're going to be 50 in front of me. But nobody. Like, dude, she's hot and I want to marry her. I don't want to ask my future wife to open for me. That's rude. Okay.
That's rude. That's so funny, dude.
I'm going to clip that for me.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Well, that's awesome, man. I think it's going to be a great time. The audience is going to have a great time if it's you and Cody up there, dude. Oh, yeah. Salt and pepper back on the table, dude.
Yeah, we're coming back, man. The tour you didn't ask for, we're coming back. We're not serving. Can bring you the seconds and helpings. No, it's going to be a fun time. And he and I always have a really good show. And this is the show that we've been touring for a while. But, man, I just wrote so much material.
Yeah. And
just to realize, man, you really have no life if you're writing. Your whole life's a set now. But my favorite part is going to be October 19th because I'm going to shoot the special and then I'm done. I'm starting over.
Wow.
I'm starting over. October 19th, all those jokes that didn't make the special, I'm pulling them over and then I'll go,
all right, that's the new special.
Okay, I guess you guys get your chance to shine because I got to wait till the special drops to do those jokes again. I don't want them to be burnt out by the time I hit the record. But that's the thing, comedians are goofy like this. We say those jokes are wasted. But I've had fans come up to me and get mad because I didn't do their favorite joke of the show. And I realized, bands do it all the time. You think Leonard Skinner didn't play Freebird every show?
Yes.
You think that, yeah, like Dim and Led Zeppelin, they had to play all their greatest hits. Comedians are the only group of people I know that are like, I need a new hour.
Well,
and I go, yeah, we do want a new hour. We
Yeah.
want new material on subjects, but when I'm on the road and I'm doing a show in like Liberty Hill, Texas, Liberty Hill knows my stuff from the internet, and they have a favorite they want to hear. And so sometimes I got to do the greatest hits for them.
I believe in that, dude. I think that Bert Kreischer, he still goes up and does the fucking machine. You know what I mean?
He's going to do the machine till he dies.
Good.
There's no way Bert's getting out of not doing it.
The machine made me start doing comedy, dude.
I think, yeah.
It literally was the thing that inspired me to go, oh, I could just go up there and tell a crazy story about my life. I got a lot of those.
Dude, that's most of us. My stories about my kids and being married and my body breaking apart are real things that happened to me. And I'm telling you this story in a funny way, but no,
Yes.
I really suffered through that. That's something that I'm going through.
Dude.
You know, being bad at marriage. Like, I am a wonderful, amazing boyfriend. Okay, I am still friends with all my exes.
Right.
All my exes still love me. My ex-wife still loves me. I just think I suck at being a husband. I cannot. It's a pressure cooker, and I'm not good at it. Some dudes go in and they're amazing husbands, and I go, oh. And then it's me, and I show up, and I'm like, my kids love me. Good dad, bad husband. Now, my ex-wife will tell you, like, that's not true. And I said, it is you. You just love the loser. That's your problem. You like losers. You gotta quit liking losers.
Yeah.
Stop it. And she gets so mad when I say that. But I'm like, yes, it's not your fault. You didn't know better. You like losers. And so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, dude. Well, speaking of kids and everything, I have my last question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, dude. So, I asked this question because one time when I was 10 years old, I went to my mom and I cried for an hour because I felt like I didn't have any talents and that I didn't have any special skills. And if I could go back and tell myself now everything that's happened to me, that someday I'd be opening for Fluffy at the mothership and shit like that, I would have never... I hopefully wouldn't have cried this hard. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so what my question for you is, if you had to go back to your 10-year-old self and you only got to use 5 words to give them some advice, what is the advice you would give your 10-year-old self in 5 words?
It's going to work out. That's the 5.
That's good.
10-year-old me would be like, me, everything you're worried about is going to work out. It's crazy. Like, dude, you're gonna... 10-year-old me was like an 80s kid, and I'd have been like, not gonna believe how many white women you're gonna date in your life. Crazy numbers. You put up Jordan numbers of white women.
That's hilarious, dude.
And it's gonna work out. Don't ask me how. I don't even know how. It just did. It's going to work out because, man, I never thought I'd work in the video game industry or be a comedian or I've been acting. I've been blessed. I've got 4 roles in the can now.
Wow.
3 in the can and 1 we're going into production. We're about to start filming next month. So I'm just like...
You were saying you feel like Rodney Dangerfield because he had gotten a later start.
Rodney Dangerfield had such a late start in life, and his success, came when he was older. His movies, his comedy, he was just hitting when he was an older dude. And a lot of times that's who I start to feel like. I feel like the success didn't come to me when I was in my 30s and my 20s. I was touring in those ages in my 30s. Yeah. But the success I'm having is as an older guy where I'm like playing anime conventions and I have a fan base and I'm getting movie roles and I'm playing big clubs late in life. But I'm also a better, more balanced person with the success I'm having now. If I'd have had this happen in my 20s, I'd be so coked out you wouldn't even know me. This star would have crashed and burned, okay?
Yeah.
They'd be talking about, who used to be good? And that'd be me. They still do that now. Who used to be good? Roderick. And then he got fat. And
oh my God.
Votes Republican, plays a lot of White Club.
Yeah. Plays White Club. Doesn't work in Mississippi.
Mississippi, and black people don't go to his shows in Louisiana.
Right.
Very hurtful. Okay. That's pretty much summed up this whole show.
Yeah,
no, it really is weird that that's where my success is coming. It's coming late in life, and it'll all work out. I think a lot of times that's what we all got to go in the time machine. That's what she got to our 10-year-old self.
Nice, dude.
10-year-old self, 4th grade, 5th grade should be able to get told, I know it looks bad now, but it's going to work out.
Work out.
Okay, dude. I can hold on to it. It's going to work out. But I would have had it. I know me, 10-year-old.
You like
how many white girls? 10-year-old me was a dirtbag. He'd ask a lot of weird questions. Please tell me there's going to be a Mexican girl in there. Yeah, but we're going to have to go to California and meet her. It's not going to last, but you're going to love them for the rest of your life.
Hell yeah.
You're going to be like, these Latinos can get me. Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Sí se puede.
We're going to have a superpower. It is.
Yes.
Yes, they can. Okay. That's the superpower every Latina woman owns. She has it. It's in her back pocket. So, yes, we can do that, babe. Yeah, that's it. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Roderick, such a pleasure to have you, man.
Buddy.
Thank
Always,
you for being a guest, dude. Awesome. All right, this has been Jordan Talks, or not Jordan Talks Second. Fuck. This has been Let's Talk Texan with Roderick McDaniel. Check out his special coming out soon. Love you guys. Thank you.